Hello, it's me, Mia Frank, and welcome back to my channel and to another episode of Utano Podcast. I know you're probably like, why are you doing this 2 weeks in a row? Well, if you were here last week, you guys would know that next week I'm going out of town and I'm coming back home next Friday, and I'm going to be totally burnt out from my trip. So I don't want to have to come home and then do a podcast because my mental health is important. So after tonight, we're going on a 2-week hiatus from the podcast to give me a little bit of a break. But also, it's summer vacation. I don't expect everyone to have the time to want to tune into the podcast live if they can't. So that's what's happening. But today, we are going to have our 12th episode. And hello everyone. Hello chat. Hello. Welcome. Today we have a very special guest. We've got Noey here. So Noey, welcome to the podcast, and go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody here.
All right. Thank you for having me, Mia. Hi, everybody. My name is Noey, as Mia has stated. Just a quick little thing about myself and the Otapri fandom. I have been in this fandom for close to 8 years. The only reason I say close to is because the very first episode I saw was Never. And that, I think, came out like in 2015 around these dates. I just can't remember when. And since then, I've been in this deep hole.
We all have. Regardless, I feel like regardless of how long we've been fans of Utapri, like I feel like everyone, once you become a fan, you kind of just fall into the rabbit hole.
Oh, absolutely. There's no going back. Once you're in, you can't go back. Like anyone who says otherwise, just like, were you even really a fan to begin with? Please.
That's why it's a series that I like try to make everybody I know watch it, because regardless of whether I think they're actually gonna like it, because not everybody has to like everything,
right?
Everyone has different tastes, but I feel like there's an aspect of Utapri that everyone can kind of enjoy or like or think is, maybe they think it's kind of silly, but they don't have a boring time.
Absolutely, I agree.
So Noey, you've mentioned that you have had. Well, first of all, you've had several Seiyuu experiences that maybe not all of us have had the chance to have.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But before we get into that, so with Utapri, so you got into it in 2015, you said?
Yeah.
That's around what, season 3 had just
That was when
out?
Season 3 was airing, yeah. I watched, when I say I watched Never when it came out, I literally mean I watched Never when it came out. I was in a group chat with some friends who were talking about oh my god, the new episode of Utapri came out. I'm like, Utapri? What's Utapri? I never heard about it till that point. And then they started sending screenshots of Ren and Ramaru, and I'm just like, hello?
Hello? Who are these?
Especially
are these fine gentlemen?
The Ramaru shower scene, I'm just like, hello? But back then I wasn't even a Kamisoshi, so why? But yeah, it started out there, and then I watched it for myself. I think I finished season 3 a little bit, even though it was kind of there was a lot of out of context information that I didn't know at the time. And then one of my best friends, she flew in to visit me during our winter breaks, and we binge watched all 3 seasons back to back. We would spend hours upon hours just watching Utapri. That was peak.
And you never looked back?
Never did.
Like the title of the song in the episode.
Sorry. Don't want to get you copyrighted.
No, you're fine. It's if we show clips and shit. I hate that they do that. I really hate that.
Honestly, same, but I can understand where they're coming from. I
get it, Broccoli. Y'all want to have
Y'all want to have everything, yo.
And shit and all that, but like, dude, like, bro, let me share my love by sharing clips, okay? Like, the video that apparently is not blocked anymore, still has clips. Like, I don't think anything got muted, at least from my end, as like on the creator end. I don't think anything got muted. Maybe some parts, like the beginnings of songs in that video, but I mean the clips. I remember my video kept getting like straight up just blocked as soon as I would upload it.
God.
So I had editing the clips down because I'm like, oh, maybe my clips are like too long.
No, because my friend, she was a huge YouTuber back in the day. We're talking like 2018 and before. She had like close to 10,000 subscribers at the time. And she would post full episodes of Utapri on her YouTube page. And I kept telling her, you got to cut some of this content off or else you're going to get, you're going to get in trouble. Lo and behold, a couple years later, her channel got taken down because she posted full episodes. I'm like, this is why you need to listen.
Yeah, you got to have like an overlay, or it has to, like, if you have to react to it, put your video on top of it, or like,
or just do clips.
Maybe one of these days, I don't know, we could do like a live reaction or something, but like
for real.
But like people have to play the episode themselves, or I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna do it.
I don't know
if
either,
we could do it live, is I guess what I'm saying. Might have to just like schedule like a pre-recorded video or something and just have that be the stream. But
I guess. But then, like, you won't get to see the comments at all and be like,
yeah, that's the problem. People to interact with chat, like, in the chat, not necessarily, like, be on camera like this. But we'll see what happens. I really don't know how I'm going to do that. But, that's an idea that I have. So you got into it and everything. So what's your favorite group? What's your favorite song? Who's your favorite character? Give me all that info. I want to know.
Okay, so my favorite group is Quartet Night, obviously. Like, since the start, I think it was Quartet Night. I try to make myself a Starish person because I'm like, oh my god, they're the main characters. I should go for the main characters. But that didn't work out, now did it? My favorite character is Camus. Don't know how we ended up on this boat here, but he is my favorite character, and despite all the things that have happened in these last couple of years, he still remains my favorite character, and I will dump my wallet on this man. I'm sorry, what was the other question?
What's your favorite song or songs?
My favorite song. Aside from Never, which I always play on blast, I think my most recent favorite song has to be Floating Labyrinth, Camus' birthday song. That slaps hard. Like, whoever was in charge of mixing that song in particular, you need a big ass raise. That was I'm still shook to this day. Like, I'll listen to it and I'm just like, this is it's not real. It sounds like something that I think Alan Walker even touched a little bit, just saying, because of like some of the beat choices. I was just like, simp. Heck yeah, Camus and Joey's Rise Up, Toll.
Really does slap hard.
Yeah.
Toll says that's what I'm saying. Like Toll, we know, man. We know how you are.
Yeah, so that's
how you express your love.
Yeah, but I think my longtime favorite song, like not from the series or like the anime series, but it's the song that came with Saintly Territory. I don't know, I forgot for a second. Is Double Face. It's such a good song. Cool. It's such a good song. I actually have it as one of my alarms in the morning.
Listen to the dun 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 dun. That one, right? I think that's how it goes. That's how it sounds.
No,
like, right?
Double Face is.
Or is it a different Tommy song? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's Double Face.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my god!
I'm getting my songs mixed up. Okay, I have like so many songs on my phone.
Dude, I felt that.
I don't even have some of the new stuff because I'm just so behind.
I mean, I have I have the birthday album if you want me to send you some of the songs.
I feel okay if anybody can get me like all of the birthday songs, that would be cool.
I got you.
Because I'm one of those people where like, I just look for like the files somewhere and download them, and then I put them on my phone.
I mean, like we've all been there, bro. We've all been there.
Well, it's because when it comes to the physical CDs, I only buy the ones that I really want.
Right. That's valid. That's completely
and in terms
valid.
of like the birthday stuff, I don't even try with that because I know that like I'm gonna have a hard time if I don't, if I'm not on top of everything, and I have
right.
I barely have time to be able to buy like other shit that I actually need. So
some you're completely valid, friend.
My Uta pre-purchases have suffered a little bit the past couple years. Sorry, my man. No, you're good, Toll. No, you're good.
Wait, sorry, I missed your comment. Hold up, let me see if I can scroll back up to what you just said. Okay, I do agree that there was just a lot of confidence in that performance. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, you're good, Toll. You're good. You can simp as hard as you want on this.
Simp for
I seriously simps rise up. All simps rise up.
Hell
okay?
Yeah. I'm a hardcore simp sometimes.
You guys need to. You guys. Well, I'm not gonna leak my DMs with one of my besties, but I can get real thirsty. In the DMs with my close friends. So just simp as hard as you want, man. I don't care.
Speaking of simp, a couple months ago, I was talking with one of my friends, right? And then she sends me this link to a TikTok, and that TikTok called me out so fucking hard. Sorry for my language. I curse a lot. It called me out so hard.
Fine. You can curse as much as you fucking want. I don't give a shit.
Okay. So yeah, that TikTok in particular called me out so hard, and I'm just like, "Why you gotta do this to me, girl? Why you gotta do this?"
I feel you. One of my friends, like, she sends me TikToks because she'll get like anime thirst traps of my favorites, not hers, but mine.
Damn.
And she'll send me that like at least every other day, and I'll be like, bro, why is my For You page not like yours right now? Like, how come you're the one sending me all this shit? I don't understand. And she'll be like, it's probably, I feel like the algorithm like sees her sharing them with me, and
then it's like,
and it keeps giving it to her instead of me, even though like I'll like the shit and it doesn't do anything. But anyways, yeah, I totally understand. I feel you.
Yeah. Keep the simp alive.
Yes, we can simp as much as you get. This is how comfortable I am with you guys. Like, my true, like, kind of accent. I don't know. My true, like, voice is, like, kind of coming out. And, yeah, like, in regular conversation, like, this is how I sound. Anyways. All right. So your favorites calm you. Do you have a favorite Starish or Heaven's Boy, or you just like them all the same?
In Starish, I really like Tokia and Cecil. Cecil because he's like a precious little son that I just want to take care of and
make sure nothing happens to him.
Yeah, I just want to. Like, I don't feel anything romantic towards him. It's just like more like I want to take care of you and make sure nothing happens to you.
Yeah, he's like your son. Like,
yeah, and with Tokia, he's like somebody I want to be friends with. I feel like he would be a really good listener. He'd be like he wouldn't judge you for anything and also give really good advice. That's how I feel about Tokia. My favorite Heaven's Boy is Van. Now, I don't think a lot of people really like Van as much.
I fucking love him.
Yes.
He is my favorite.
He's a definition of a himbo.
Oh yeah, he's total himbo. I fucking love him.
Doofus.
So I showed my friend, one of my best friends, Utapri recently.
Yeah.
And Heavens is introduced, right? And like the new members of Heavens come out at the end of season 3.
Uh-huh.
And like, we're watching together, like, how, like, via voice chat and stuff. So like we're sharing the screen or whatever, and we're talking. And he comes on stage, and I was like, "Hey, there's my boy." And she's like, "A fucking course, that's the one that you like." I was just gonna say that's probably the one that you like. And I was
also,
like,
I'm looking at Tol says Vat is a baseball enjoyer. Oh, yes, he's a himbo. I agree.
Vat's great. He's hilarious, shaped like a friend. But he's a big himbo. But I fucking love him.
Yeah, I enjoy him. Yeah, those are my favorite ones of the other groups.
How many people do you know that are into baseball?
My dad was into baseball, but he was not a himbo.
My dad is used to coach baseball and played baseball. I don't know if I would call my dad a himbo. He's my dad. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, you can't really call your dad a himbo, like unless
your
mom says it, but that's a whole other story.
I don't think my mom knows the term himbo. My parents are boomers, so my parents are at the end of like the boomer generation, but they're still boomers.
Oh man,
they still boomer things a little bit, and my millennial ass has to explain to them. Certain things.
Felt that.
I love my parents. You know, they're very like they understand some things, but other times I have to like explain like a million times.
It's like, Mom, oh my god, it means this.
My dad still has a flip phone.
You know what? If my dad were still around, he would also have a flip phone.
So you know, that's just I feel like that's just dad energy, like
right.
Boomer dads still have flip phones, and if they have a smartphone, they don't know how the fuck it works. That like I feel like that's true because, you know, we've been trying to convince my dad to get like a smartphone, and he'll use my mom's phone for stuff, and he gets mad when the screen turns black, and you have to like unlock it. So I don't think he would enjoy having a smartphone.
I don't think so. Oh my god.
So he'll keep his flip phone and look at it this close to his face when he reads the text.
Oh man.
I mean. Well, my dad had cataracts in one of his eyes, so he got a cataract surgery.
That makes a lot more sense.
So he's like, I have a bionic eye. So like one of his eyes is like fixed now or whatever.
Oh, that's so
like,
weird.
He got the cataracts removed. He still wears glasses and everything, but he'll take them off and he reads like with his like better eye, but he still does it like really close. Anyways,
now that I think about it, sorry. I used to know somebody when I was in high school that also would like read super duper close. But I don't know if, like, now that you mentioned it with, like, the bionic eye and, like, having something, you know, with your eyesight, just like that you mentioned, if that was his issue or if he just had really, really bad vision and, like, his family just didn't want to take care of it. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, no, I think, like, well, and my dad had cataracts in, like, one eye. I don't know about the other one. I have no idea. But one of his eyes has the cataracts removed and it's good now. That's the bionic one. So yeah, now my dad doesn't have to wear his glasses all the time. It just depends, but he'll still read text messages because it's a small flip phone. He has to read it really close because it's small.
Right. That's valid. That's understandable. Sorry.
I wish my father had a flip phone because he's growing too powerful with his little Android. Dude, my dad hates technology. I feel like. He gets mad if a web page on the computer doesn't load after 2 seconds. So, you know, that's just he just showing his age.
That's just that is such a dad thing though. Like when you think about it, I feel like dads just get really angry when technology that is supposed to be super advanced just doesn't work.
Yeah, my dad is turning into a grumpy old man. And you know what? I just have to live with it and I have to like, you know, just try to make sure he doesn't. Yeah, I just have to kind of endure it. You know.
Yeah.
He's a grumpy old man, and yeah. My mom, on the other hand, you know, she likes her phone, but sometimes she still doesn't know how to. Like, my mom doesn't know how to do a screenshot, and every time I have to explain to her how to do it, I think she forgets how to do it.
You know what shocks me though? So. I'm living with like an elderly couple. They're already in their 80s. So the lady, she has like a smartphone, and this is just completely honesty. I didn't even know she could actually take screenshots until she started sending me ideas for like a cooler for my bedroom. And I was just like, huh. I thought I would need to explain this to her, but no, good for her that she was actually learning how to. Shoot, I just dropped the gem. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well,
I was actually really happy that, that she was able to use this more advanced technology than, most people her age.
Masato owning an android is the most validating thing ever.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
so it tells you what he's tweeting from. That's hilarious. Yeah, well, my mom's a teacher, so she kind of has to like get with the technology because
Yeah,
my
okay,
mom
that's
teaches third
understandable.
graders, so like all their parents are like a little bit they're either like my age now, because I'm almost 30, or they're like at least a decade older than I am, but they're like Gen Xers or like older millennials.
Right.
So like their everything is on the like all of our stuff's on the computer and stuff, and everyone wants to give their 4-year-old an iPad for some reason.
Concern. No, I'm not gonna lie. That makes me a little concerned.
Yeah, I really don't think an iPad should be a babysitter. I sound very boomerish saying that, knowing that like when I was growing up, my grandparents were one of my grandmas was the one that was like, why do you get like, I don't know why you guys sit and watch TV all day.
Oh, that was my mom for sure. Like she's like, you guys should go outside and play some more, and I'm just like, but like this episode is so good. I was watching like Zoe 101, Lizzie McGuire.
Friggin'... our I feel like as millennials, like just we grew up with TV. Like I watched a lot of TV. Grew up with a lot of TV. But also, the ever changing technology. Because I feel like technology has kind of like slowed down in terms of like its rapid change. So like, Gen Zers and like now Gen Alpha, like, oh my god, I can't believe there's 2 generations underneath me. Jesus Christ.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
But like some of them don't have like common sense on how like, older technology works. Whereas
me saying that I as an iPhone user probably, you know what? That I believe that, not gonna lie.
Whereas as millennials, I feel like, we had the internet, and then like smartphones changed a bunch. We had flip phones, all that stuff. Like,
oh, absolutely.
We adapt very easily to changing technology. I feel like more than the people older than us and the people younger than us.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, because technology did not change as rapidly for them as it did for us, growing up. Let's see, what else are people saying? I think one of them owns Android, and everyone else owns iPhone.
Basic. I'm kidding.
Except I, who tweets from his PC, but I'd assume he's an iPhone user too. Well, wouldn't he just be a phone himself? He a wobot. Cecil's the other Android user.
Dude, you just set me with that. He would be a phone himself. That... Dude, I can't. I was actually gonna say something so awful. Apologies. Dude, say it. Just say
Toll,
it.
what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say, Toll? Let's see, what do you say?
Yes, we will wait here. I'm gonna say I use this modified Google Pixel.
I would use like a Google Pixel or some like bougie ass phone like that.
Oh boy.
Sorry everybody, I use an iPhone. Okay, here's the thing. I use an iPhone because I think it's very user friendly. And I use an iPad, but in terms of a computer, like my computer I'm using now, I use a PC.
I'm an Android girl. Yeah.
I use a PC just because that's the Microsoft or
just
Windows.
Easier. I don't know why, but like
I'm just more familiar with how the Windows operating system. But at work, I use a Mac. So I'm familiar with both, but I am much more comfortable with a PC. So like my laptop's a PC, my desktop's a PC.
So Toll says to never get a Google Pixel. Got it.
I use an iPhone.
I've never wanted a Google Pixel in my life.
You always regret a Google Pixel, lol. I'm either Samsung or Google Pixel.
Android all the way.
My first like actual smartphone was an Android, but it was a shitty Android, so it kind of like ruined it for me. And
I
plus,
started off with iPhone and then just progressed to Android after I got like 3 viruses on the iPhone 6 Plus, 6 or 7 Plus. I forgot which one it was. And I took it to Apple and I was like, hey, I need this being solved. And they didn't want to do anything about it. So once I had the money for it, I bought myself a Note 9 and that lasted me almost 5 years.
yeah, I just like that I have my like all my music and everything on there, and like I like the app interface with iPhone, and I like having AirPods. Like I really invested some money into my AirPods. I don't have an AirPod Pros or anything. I have like the regular AirPods, and I really like them. They're super nice, and where's my AirPods? I like my AirPod case. I'm gonna show you guys my AirPod case because it's really cute.
Let's see a friend.
I try to stay true to my roots. So I have a little. So my iPhone case is a little concha.
I love that. I love that.
My AirPod case is a concha, and I like this flavor. I like the yellow one.
This is one of the things that sucks about being an Android user is that you can never find cute shit like that for our like either buds or even like phone cases. It's just very difficult.
You know, growing up, going to my grandma's house,
conchas all the way, bro.
Sometimes they would go to the panaderia like nearby, and they would get the conchas. And
hell yeah,
I always wanted to eat the yellow one. Love the yellow one, so good. If you guys have never had like a concha,
please go get a concha
like,
and eat it like, dude, so eat it with freaking chocolate milk or like yeah, or like atole or champurrado or something like that. Just
like, dude, hot chocolate with this. Even the chocolate ones are good. But I like the yellow ones the most. The pink ones are good too, but I like the yellow. So I got yellow.
Yeah, I still love that case. Holy cow, you're lucky.
So cute. I love it. You know, I try to stay true. You know, oh shit, because you know, I live on the border, so like you know, Mexico is like, I can see it. Well, I can't see it from my house, but I can see it from the freeway when I'm driving to work.
Wow.
It's right there.
Oh, I didn't think El Paso was that close. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, dude, it's across on Juarez. Like, take the bridge.
God. Wow.
Yeah,
you can San Diego. Border, I think it was last week. You can see
the border fence there. Lots of border patrol all over the place. Not all over the place, but like near that way. Yeah, you can see Juarez from the freeway.
Chocolate concha all the way. I agree, Mimi. I was in San Diego. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and I didn't realize how close to Mexico I really was until I dropped off my friend who was like 10 minutes from the border, and I'm just like,
huh. Oh yeah.
I could take a day trip to Tijuana if I wanted to, but I'm not going to.
You definitely could. I know somebody who goes to Tijuana all the time, like, and they live in San Diego. Yeah, it's the same with here. It's, you know, the only problem is like if you don't have an express pass on your car, you gotta wait.
That makes sense.
My brother and my sister-in-law, she has family in Juarez, and so they'll go. And sometimes my brother will just like get out of the car and like walk the way and meet her there.
Who out of heavens would be an Android user? Xion.
Yeah, chocolate conchas. I mean, they're good, man, but like the yellow ones, though. Love the yellow ones. Who out of heavens would be an Android user?
I said Xion.
Maybe says Kira.
I don't know, but I feel like Xion would definitely be an Android user.
Kira and Xion.
I think everyone else would be like an iPhone user, even Van.
Maybe AG.
Nah.
I feel like most of them would be iPhone users.
Yeah.
But I can't really say specifically who would have, like... I can't tell you what model iPhone they would have.
Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe... Okay, out of heavens, I feel like Aichi, he would always get the new... He's one of those iPhone users where...
Yeah, the ones that would get them, like, every single year.
Every single time the new one comes out, he gets a new one. And then everyone's always like, bro, you got a new phone again? And he'll be like, yeah, man, the new one came out and I had to get it.
I know someone like who's like that, but with Android phones, like,
He's a
goddamn, where
brand
you get that
committed to
money from,
Apple.
yo?
Vaughn is so iPhone user, and you know what? That's fine, because I love me some himbos with iPhones. He has the same busted iPhone for the last 8. He is one of those guys that looks like he would have the same He still has an iPhone 6.
Honestly, though, he would.
It still
real.
works. It still works.
Oh, man.
He still uses the wired headphones. I do miss having wired headphones, though, with iPhone. But I do like that my AirPods, like when you take them out, it pauses your music or video that you're listening to, and then you put it back in and it starts playing again.
That's a huge advantage. Not even the Galaxy Buds that I have for my phone do that.
And it reads your text messages when your phone is locked and you're not next to it, and it'll read out like your emails and stuff. So that's also why I wear my AirPods at work. I'm allowed to. But that's
nice.
Because I get a lot of emails when I'm doing other things. I'm not always next to my phone or the computer. So
wait. Hold on a second. Toll, are you admitting that you've had the same phone for like a couple years now and it's all busted up and...
I don't know.
I don't know what you mean, bro.
But yeah, I have a 12. This is the regular 12. Because it's in this purple color. Purple's my favorite color. And
is that a Casetify case?
It's like oh yeah, I like this. It's Casetify, yeah. Well, this is like $60 and it works and it's nice and it's a video game vending machine and I think it's cute.
We love that.
But yeah, like the I saw the commercial for the 12 and I'm like, you know what? I'm due for an upgrade. So I got my upgrade and I got my 12 and I still have a 12. So
someday, Maya, we'll get our Heavens headphones. Also, sorry, you guys. I'm currently working on the AX jars. I have to make a difference between the Quartet Night ones and the Starish ones, so that's why I keep looking down and like we'll have these or other tweezers on my hand.
Headphones. The headphones, brother.
Oh, the headphones.
The over-the-ear headphones. Oh my god. I mean, I use those for recording. These headphones are... I need new headphones actually for this. But I like the earbuds. I had Raycons because every YouTuber is sponsored by Raycon pretty much.
I don't know a single YouTuber that hasn't been sponsored by Raycon.
And I liked them for a little bit. They were very affordable, like $60.
Oh wow.
And I had them and I dropped one on the floor and it broke. Like it still worked, but I couldn't like keep it together.
Oh.
So that got annoying, and then I was like, I have an iPhone, I should just get AirPods. So then I got AirPods. And that I use my AirPods every single day.
Fair.
And I really like them. Cries on OnePlus.
What's a OnePlus again? I'm so sorry. Like I'm kind of like drawing a line right now.
So anyway, back to Utapri. Anyway, we got off on a tangent. Anyway,
we got off on a big ass tangent, yo.
Tangents are fun. Utapri earbuds and Walkman because franchises still do a collab with them. I know, dude. That's crazy. So Noey, you're going to Anime Expo.
Yes, I am.
So that's very cool. That's very exciting. I'm sad there's only like one scheduled Utapri thing. Like
yeah, I mean it was the same thing as like 2019. There was just the Maji Love Kingdom movie, and that was it for the whole weekend. And it wasn't. And last year it was both screenings for Love and Dream. I can kind of understand why they would do it again because someone pointed out that they were just replaying from the Blu-ray, so I don't think Type Zero had access to the new one just yet. But you know what? There's a heck ton of meetups, so.
But also, yeah, Type Zero. They're the people that are like putting on the
show.
The show, and they did that last year. And their booth was where you could get all the cool Utapri shit. That was like all official
the goodies,
and stuff.
all them goodies.
You could get the pen light that I have. I got this there at their booth.
Mm-hmm.
And they had cam badges, and they had
the rings. I remember the
dangly
rings.
things. They had rings. They had a bunch of stuff. So if you are going to Anime Expo, go to their booth. Find the Type Zero booth. It took me a hell of a long time to find it, but go to the Type Zero booth. They'll have pen lights and shit. They'll have real cool shit. So
they'll have everything that you need for the screening, basically.
Yeah, they'll have all that. So y'all can enjoy, and then go to a booth like Kinokuniya or Kotobukiya because they're gonna have like really cheap cam badges for Utapri.
It depends because sometimes they will have some, sometimes they won't. I've noticed that throughout the years.
They last year they like traded out like the idol stuff. So like one day they had Utapri stuff, and the next day they traded it for like Idol 7, and then the day after that it was like Ensemble Stars, and then like the day after that it was like
interesting.
Yeah, so those kinds of booths, I say go to those because they're gonna have like really cheap shit, and they'll have old stuff. That's how I got one of my Utapri art books, actually.
Oh, wait, I know which one you're talking about. I know which book you're talking about.
Because I got one in 2019 when I went. So that's how I got one of my art books, and then the other one, someone sent it to me. So yeah, you'll find some Utapri stuff. They'll even sell like copies of the games too, like for the Vita.
Yeah. I think I got a couple of my Utapri games through that one booth. I know what you're talking about.
And they'll sell CDs. Last year they had CDs. So I saw some of like Holy Night was there. Masto's CD. I saw Rose Romance there as well. They had some Mamoru Miyano CDs there too. So go to booths like that because they'll have like old stuff for sale, and you'll find Utapri related stuff. I guarantee you'll find some stuff.
There's always that booth will always have some kind of Utapri merch at their booth, whether it's a book, whether it's the games, the CDs. Most of like post-COVID, most of my merch is from that specific booth. I haven't really gotten a lot of trading items since COVID happened because like money has been pretty tight since. Don't ask me how I moved out here. Yeah, that's all I can say about that specific topic. Yeah,
so in terms of the 2 years of experience I have going to Anime Expo, like that's what I've noticed. I don't know about like local conventions because I don't really see anything that's related to local conventions. But I would say big conventions like Anime Expo or
Anime. I think like some of the bigger ones: Anime Expo, Anime Impulse, Otakon, Anime NYC, maybe Anime Matsuri, but I don't recommend that con.
Oh yeah, no, don't go to.
Yeah, don't do Anime Matsuri. I went there only one time, and I thought I would go back again because I had genuinely had fun that year, but I would not recommend it.
No, that con has not a very good reputation. Yeah. Also, like it's in Houston. Why the fuck would anyone want to go to Houston? I feel as a Texan, I can say that. I don't like the bigger cities in Texas all that much. Like Houston, no thank you. Dallas, no thank you. Austin is cool to visit, but I would never live there because there are way too many fucking people.
I was going to say something, but I think it's still under like an NDA. So I'm going to shut up.
No, Houston is one too many people, but also the weather is fucking awful.
I remember it rained there, like one of the last days I was there for Anime Matsuri. It rained and I felt like I was drowning, but that's probably because I'm from the desert.
I mean, same. El Paso weather is very different from the rest of Texas. I'm in a different time zone than the rest of Texas.
Goddamn. That's how big Texas is,
that
y'all.
Tells you how big the state is, but also how different the culture here is than it is to the rest of the state. And I like the culture here. I think it's a lot nicer and there's less people. So but I would never live in a place like Houston. It floods a lot. they're on El Paso's on a separate power grid than the rest of Texas. So whenever the power goes out and that big power grid stuff happens and trends or whatever, I don't have to worry about that because we're not on the same power grid as the rest of the state. So not saying that I like that or anything in terms of like I think it's terrible that people live without power and freeze and such. But anyway, don't want to get political here. But yeah, in terms of like conventions, I would say bigger conventions are probably going to have access to more stores like that, like Kotobukiya or Kinokuniya, because like their cities will have them. We have 0 of those stores here. All of the ones that would be in Texas are in bigger cities like Houston and Dallas and San Antonio. So, I would say just, yeah. If you can't afford to go to Anime Expo, try to find a big con that's like in your state or like in your area,
or just something that you could even just drive over to.
Yeah.
So to also save you probably some money on flights, because one of my friends is driving in from Sacramento to come to Anime Expo, and it was cheaper for her to drive than to fly.
Oh yeah. And that's crazy because that's within the same state. You would think it would be cheaper to travel to fly, but no.
No, absolutely not.
Toll needs a Walkman CD player with Natsuki slapped on top of it. Good for you, Toll. I believe in you. Might get Song Parade next year. We'll see what happens next year.
I hope we get Song Parade.
There's no word on whether they're bringing merch yet, but I would think they would bring a little bit of merch. Still eyeing High Dive / Sentai for not showing the S. I mean, they're based in Houston, guys. What did I tell you?
Anyways, when Song Parade comes over, I will not shut up about Baby My Strawberry. I am telling you that right now. I will scream. I will cry. Someone is gonna have to hold me back. I need tissues. I need like life support for that. If you haven't seen the pictures, please look them up. Please.
Yeah, medium and small cons, yeah, it's a hit or miss. I would not guarantee you unless for some reason you have a small community of Utapri fans in your area and you live in a small area, maybe you could get something, but you're better off going to a big con that might possibly have a booth that has old merch.
Yeah, now that I think about it and that you've mentioned this, and it just occurred to me, back to Anime Matsuri, I only found one person doing Utapri fan art in the artist alley. One person.
See, and that's like a
and that's a pretty big one.
That's like a crapshoot too. Yeah, like my local con that I went to last weekend, I found one booth that had Obemi fan art. Okay. And that is like super popular.
That's so.
And I only found one person doing art for that.
Wow.
Of course, I bought it, but like you would think.
You would think that there would be more fan art.
There would be more fan art,
especially to a game just as big as Obemi. It would have more. But like, goddamn.
Yeah,
I do wonder how many AX artists are gonna have Obemi art. Because the cast is going to be there this year again.
Yeah, they're going to be there for the second year in a row.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fan art.
And there's also going to be autographs, you guys. AX today posted their autograph schedule. There is going to be, I think, 6 autograph time slots.
There was fan art last year in Artist Alley that I was able to get a few prints. So, yeah, if you're also a fan of that series, good luck with getting a premium autograph session, by the way. There's only 4 of those for Obey Me. I think they're trying to make up for last year's fiasco, but
what? Okay.
Don't
okay, I know we're going off on so many tangents, but as someone who doesn't really follow Obey Me, what happened last year? I'm so confused.
Okay. Here you go. Because I lived it. I lived through it. There's a video about it here on my channel that you can still watch if you guys want to.
Okay.
And you can read the comments too, because there were people in the comments as well.
Oh dear.
So it's a bit of a tangent, but it's an Ultimate series. So well, not really an Ultimate series. It's like a gacha / Ultimate, kind of. Not really. Anyways, um, whatever. It's similar in terms of there's pretty boys in it. Anyway, um, basically the gist of what happened last year, which should not happen at all, by the way, with any big series like this, whether it is Utapri or Obemi or another series with like a shit ton of pretty boys like Idol of Seven or Ensemble Series or whatever. This should not happen. So last year was the first year they were bringing the Seiyuu to an American convention. All of them. Well, all of the brothers.
Yeah.
7 of them. So of course, I don't think Soulmare, which is the company that it's Shall We Date, right. I don't think they or Anime Expo anticipated how many people would come for Obey to Anime Expo. Even though the game has over like 6 million downloads or something.
I can double check on that.
So yeah, of course they announced they're coming. Everyone's all excited. And Soulmare has a booth, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have special events and such.
About 6 million downloads total.
Yeah, 6 million downloads. So they're like, we're gonna have special events. Very cool. Okay, everyone's excited, whatever. And the voice actors are gonna be there. Oh my god, there's gonna be a cosplay contest, and they're gonna be the judges and stuff. And people had to enter like apply to be in the costume contest.
Wow.
So that was like already like people, like a set number of people were chosen to participate in that. So
okay,
you know, it was cool. The costume contest was cool. That was legit. It was not nothing happened. The problem is their booth is like in the exhibition hall or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
And you know, it's not in like the game hall where there's like, you know, more room for people to walk around because there's games in everywhere.
I think Aniplex also had like their other booth down in the entertainment hall.
Okay, yeah, it's not really an Ultimate because yes, you're right. The MC is gender neutral. They use they them pronouns. Anyways, it's just like a dating sim. Anyway, kind of. So anyway, you know, their booth's like in the middle, not necessarily quite in the middle of the big ass room, but like, you know, there's traffic and there's a lot of people. It. And the first day of the convention last year, of course, they called the fire marshal. So, you know, it was that. So that, you know, all the poor volunteers had to kind of like, you know, try to make the flow of traffic go faster.
Oh my god.
So they're like, yeah, so we have a costume contest. So that was like on the first day. Then they announced like, okay, we're gonna have there's gonna be a panel like the second day or whatever. So like their panels at this certain time. But also, guys, we're going to have an autograph session. However, we're going to be giving out tickets to the autograph session. So you can only go to the autograph session if you have tickets. You know, like every autograph session at Anime Expo, you have to have a ticket.
Right.
You can't just go wait in line. It's not like every other con where like you could just wait in someone's line and and stuff. You have to have a ticket for Anime Expo autographs and certain panels too. You have to have a ticket.
I don't think they're doing the ticketing system this year with panels.
With panels, thank God,
because I've been kind of keeping tabs on Aniplex and Anime Expo as well. They haven't said anything about a ticketing for panels.
I'm surprised.
Which, in a way, is a good thing because it allows more people to go in, but at the same time, that is going to be chaotic.
I think it also depends on how big the room is, because last year I didn't have to wait in a regular ticket line for the Twisted Wonderland panel that I sat in. I just had to get a virtual ticket. And they did it like virtually. So you had to have your little QR code and then they scan you in.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which, that worked fine. That was great. I had a seat because I got my ticket way in advance.
Yeah.
I didn't have to wait in an actual physical line.
Let me share something with y'all. First say you experience of the day. If y'all watched the live stream or were at that panel, I was front row seat, and my friend was the person who got called out by Natsuki Hane. who is like, oh my gosh, she cried harder for Shimazaki Nobunaga than she did for me. I was right there because I was her ADA helper. If y'all remember that, yeah, that was her.
So yeah, so they're like, yeah, we're gonna give out tickets, but also, guys, we only have 75 tickets.
Oh, that's why people are saying it was awful.
So 75 tickets. And of course, when they announced that, you know, there's clearly more than 75 people watching.
Absolutely.
This, watch them announce that
at
their booth. And they're like, yeah, we're giving out 75 tickets. We're going to start giving them out at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh my god.
So tomorrow, you just have to get in line here at our booth, not in the line you should wait outside for ticketed events.
No,
we're going to give them away
chaotic.
here at the booth at 10 a.m. So what does everybody do that wants a ticket? Well, of course, we're going to wait in line just to get inside Anime Expo before the shit even starts. 75 tickets for an autograph session.
That's awful.
With the Seiyuu from Obemi. Also, I think it was they only had like an hour of time.
75? No, you can't do 75 autographs
with
in an
7
hour.
people autographing shit. Yeah, no way.
No, not even like the English voice actors that I've gotten a chance to meet can do 75 people in an hour. I think it took me like 2.5 hours when I was meeting Zach Aguilar. And there was like 100 plus people in front of me. No, you cannot do 75 in an hour. That's delusional.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Again.
Thank you. Yeah, I know me. Damn. Yeah, 75, man. 75. I was there. I heard them announce it with my own ears. 75 tickets total.
Oh my god.
And so everyone, of course, gets the same idea. Oh, well, I have to get here really early tomorrow so I can wait in line just to get inside because the exhibition hall doors don't open until 10 a.m. Like the building opens at 9, but then the exhibition hall
opens at 10.
It opens at 10. So you have to wait an hour. So what do me and Chantal, she hasn't been on this podcast, but she's showed up on my channel a few times. My friend Chantal, who also likes it to pre. Anyway, well, we went together, so we're like, okay, tomorrow we have to get up really early. So we get up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, just so we can go wait in line to get inside Anime Expo at 5 a.m.
God. See, this is why premiere badges aren't necessary. Anime Expo, don't take away our premiere badges, stupid.
That's right. They got rid of the badges this year, right?
I was an annual premiere badge user. I saved up my money for that every single year. I had it ready this year. And then I got the email. Premiere badges are being discontinued. I'm mad, yo.
It's because they want to make more money. That's why. They want to sell more tickets.
Premiere badges, this is gonna blow people's minds. The last premiere badge was like $500, and they would sell out in like an hour. Make it make sense.
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to move certain funds over for other things. I have no idea.
I mean, Shaquille O'Neal is going this year, so we'll see.
That's fucking Is he an anime fan?
I have no idea.
That's so fucking random when celebrities are like, I love anime, and then I'm like, oh, really? What anime do you watch? Naruto? Yeah, okay. Sure.
I don't know, man.
They only watch like one anime. Like, okay. I don't think you're an anime fan, my guy. I don't want to be like gatekeepy or anything, but I just feel like you should... I feel like every anime fan needs to have like that one obscure series that they like that other people are going to be like, I don't know what that is. And for me, that's Utapri. I like popular shit, but I don't watch everything popular. Anyways, that's random. Anyway, so we wait in line, we get there. People start cutting in line because there's a group of cosplayers at the front. And who are they cosplaying as? Well, of course, they're cosplaying as Obami characters. And we noticed this and we're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why are
Oh
people
my
cutting in
God.
line? And then they open the doors. We go through the little bag check that was like kind of bullshit last year. Actually, like they never really actually checked people's bags.
They check my. I know when I went through Premiere check-in, they always looked at it.
And then we go and we get to the front where they're gonna like open, you know, where the escalators are and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where you can. That's like where they have it cut off. And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna open the doors a little bit early." So then they open the doors a little bit early. There's like a fucking stampede of people. We get to the booth, and there's already like 1 million people surrounding the booth, like in front of it. There's volunteers on both sides at the front saying you can't just stand here. You have to keep walking around. And then there's people inside the booth saying you cannot loiter here, like you need to leave. We are not open yet. We open at 10.
That's ridiculous.
So it's just kind of like, well, you know, they open the doors early. I don't know what you want people to do. They're going to go to the booth because they're going to want to wait for it to be open at 10 to get their fucking ticket. And so I'm just like, okay, I don't even know where we should even be lining up for these freaking tickets. So we just start walking around the booth so we're within the flow of traffic so people aren't screaming at us to move.
Uh-huh. Oh my God, that reminds me of the Hoyoverse booth. It is so... The last 3 conventions that I was at, which was 2 Anime NYC and 1 Anime Expo, there is just no control in that booth whatsoever. Please do not go. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time.
So we're walking around, and 10 o'clock rolls around, and there's no, like, announcement of, like, okay, guys, get in line, or whatever, and, like, they're still yelling at people to get away from the booth, and people don't move because they're assholes, and they want to be the first in line, so they want to be there and cut, and all that good stuff.
Uh-huh.
Because people are just awful when it comes to things like that.
For reals, I believe you.
So, then they're like, okay, well, we're going to have it because they had screens, like TV screens on their booth there where they were showing, like, you know, pictures and videos, whatever.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that.
And so then because it says, like, oh, come at 10 and we'll like, give out the tickets or whatever little announcement they had on there.
Uh-huh.
So then we go around again, and I notice, like, the screen is, like, black, like, it's off. So I go up to one of the people, and I'm like, okay, so what is happening? What's going on? Like, where are we supposed to go? Are they giving out tickets? Like, what's the deal? Because, you know, I don't like talking to strangers. I'm only a social person when I have to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I kind of, like, just decided, like, okay, I'm gonna, if I'm gonna be the one, like, trying to get answers from people or, like, kind of yelling at people or being a Karen, I guess, kind of, I'll do it because, you know, I just want
it's when it's necessary.
Yeah, I just want to know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, so what's happening? Like, have they canceled this? Like, what's going on? And then the girl's like, oh no, they're just deciding a different time and, like, maybe a different spot for us to, like, give out the tickets. So it's gonna be on the screen up there. It's black right now, but they're gonna put it on the screen, like, at whatever time.
Oh, that's
so
messed up.
Okay,
that's so messed up.
So then we're like, all right, well then let's go to a different booth and we'll come back here closer to
that was mistake number 1.
Yeah. And so we go, and then we go closer to the time, and there's still nothing, and people are waiting, and they're like, you can only come in if you, because they were doing, like, the beta testing for, like, the rhythm game, for the new, for Nightbringer.
Oh, baby, yeah.
Game. There's a rhythm element to it. So they were doing a beta testing for that, so they were only letting people in to play that into their booth. So, we go, and it's still black. The screen's still black, and I'm like, and I go up to the same person, I'm like, okay, so, like, when are they gonna announce it? Like, what's going on? And she's like, you know, I don't know. I'll find out, and we'll let you know. And so we're like, okay. Literally a couple minutes later, because there's people, like, just waiting there and they're on their phones, of course, because people are checking Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah.
And they're refreshing the page. Like, 2 minutes after that, these people just bolt the fuck out of there. They get up and run. Like, they run and leave, and we're like, what the fuck? So then, I asked this person, like, okay, what? Those people just left. Like, what? Like, did they announce something? She's like, oh, yeah, they probably announced, like, on their Instagram or their Twitter. I don't know which one. And I was like, okay, well, cool. So then I have to stand there and look and open my phone. Because when I'm at a convention, I really don't want to be looking at my phone. I want to be, like, looking at stuff.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why I rarely check my phone during conventions, because, like, you want to enjoy the experience, but why would people... Okay, we'll get to the story later, like, once we talk about the experiences, but that's one of the things that just sets me off. Is like, why do you think putting these announcements on social media is a good thing? Almost nobody is checking their phone when they're at a convention.
I'm like, okay, ever. My thing is like, oh, these people have their notifications on for these accounts. So they're checking their phone as soon as they get a notification. Oh, they tweeted something. Let me check what it is. So I check, and then they say where they're giving out the tickets, and we try to get there as fast as possible. And you know where they were giving out the tickets instead?
Where?
In the line where you're supposed to get tickets for events like autographs and panels that have tickets, which is outside. I know. I'm sure you know where I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like it's a separate line from even just the line to get inside. It's like it's a separate place.
It's outside.
Yeah, it's outside.
It's hot
and they
out
have,
here in LA. What the frick, bro?
They have like tents and stuff, like covered areas. Yeah. For those of them that have never been and don't really know what it would look like, it's outside. It's like next to one of the entrances of the convention center, and you get your tickets for like events there, like your actual ticket for like panels, or you can buy your actual tickets there too if you like get there early enough. But I think that's stupid. I don't know why. I
think it's just like especially for locals who decide, hey, you know what, I'm gonna stop by Anime Expo.
I guess.
Yeah, and I think that's also standard for a lot of conventions that may still have tickets. And like say for example, somebody buys a 1-day badge and they just never show up. That's probably what it is
true,
as well.
That's true. I mean, the last con I went to locally here last weekend, I mean, I bought my ticket like the day before because I could, and it was $25. But I bought it online, so I didn't have to wait in a separate line when I got there, so I could just go in. But anyway, and I'm local, and it was local. Anyways, so we get there, and the line is hella fucking long. And people are like, what is this line for? People that are walking by, and we're like, well, they just announced it's like the Obey Me line for the autograph session, and they're like, oh, okay. So we're in line, and I'm looking like all the way up to the front, and I'm like, I've never seen a line of 75 people before.
So but that's not 75.
So I can't tell if I'm within the 75 or just barely outside of 75. I can't tell. I don't know what a line of 75 people looks like.
Oh my god.
I can guarantee it is not because I look back the people behind me. I guarantee it's not that long.
Oh my god.
So there's a shit ton of people in line. So they're waiting, and then the line moves for like literally a couple seconds. It like moves for a couple seconds, and then it starts dispersing, and people are like coming back, like leaving the line, and they're like, it's sold out already.
Wow.
And apparently, I didn't know this at the time. I only learned it through a comment on my video when I made a video about it.
Oh my goodness.
That night, I just recorded a video and posted it. I didn't edit anything, nothing.
Right.
You can see it on my channel. Anyway. One of the comments, I think I pinned the comment. They're like, oh, there were people like cutting in line, and they didn't do anything about it. And then like some people, one person that commented on my video that got to go to the thing, they only got to go because they paid a scalper that had gotten one of the tickets a lot of money to go, or to get the ticket So they got their ticket, but they paid
my
extra money
God.
from a scalper that was there that managed to get a ticket. And I remember when we like walked closer up to the front of the line, we go, and there's people crying.
Oh my
Like
God.
I saw a girl like sobbing her eyes out, like she was so upset.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
literally sobbing out loud. It was really bad.
I think I hope that with like I think if I counted right, it was 6 sessions for the Obey Me Boys. They would make up for this massive mistake that happened last year. Holy shit! I am so sorry that anyone had to go through this. That's awful. Holy
it was
cow.
fucking terrible. And like the other thing was like because they changed the time too. They didn't do it at 10 o'clock, obviously. Because they changed the time. There's a scheduled panel, and like we have to get back into the actual convention center to go to this stupid panel. So we kind of did cut in line to like get through, and they were like trying to stop people, and we cut in line, but we still got to be able to get there. But then we're in line for the panel, and it was a non-clearing room. So we were like,
don't we hate when that
and of
happens?
course we got in the line. After people are waiting in the line for hours, they sacrificed trying to get an autograph just to go be in line for the panel instead because the times overlapped kind of. And I kid you not, like the line moves and they get to me,
and they
stop the line because it's in that area where like they'll stop lines because people have to walk through. So they like do the flow of traffic.
Yeah.
So they stop me, and people walk across in front, like because they're just getting places. They're not in line for anything. And I was like, "You better be fucking kidding me! Like they better not turn and tell me
that is capped.
That it's capped, and I cannot get in. I will be so fucking pissed because that was like literally the only reason I went last year. I mean, Utapri too, but like there were multiple chances to watch that.
Yeah, there was a lot for Utapri, thankfully.
But then, luckily, they're like, "Oh, we can fit like 50 more people in the room."
All right.
So then we go up, and as we're walking to the room, the literal fucking Seiyuu are standing right there next to this other door, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I looked like a fucking idiot. And then we saw the panels. Like that was cool. Whatever, it was great. Panel was great. That was fun. But yeah, so that's what happened. And then they're like, oh, like at the panel, they like apologize. They're like, not the Seiyuu, obviously, but like the people in charge or whatever. People at the booth, they're like, oh, we're sorry for the inconvenience that happened and stuff. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but y'all could have decided that earlier.
Well, my thing was like, okay, if you guys had done the whole tickets at the correct ticket booth thing, that's the line I would have gotten up at 3 a.m. to go wait in.
Yeah.
I would have waited in that line instead because you can. You don't have to go in and then wait in that line.
Exactly.
Because it's outside of the main line. So, like, I could have just waited in that line instead at 5 a.m. and I probably would have gotten a ticket. I don't know. Maybe there would have been a shit ton of people cutting in line. I don't know.
Maybe. I do remember one time that I did go for an autograph ticket. This is just like years ago, and I think they might have changed. This is one of the reasons why AX has gone in a downhill, I think, because they changed management. This is probably before that happened. My friend and I got up to grab an autograph ticket, and it was like 5 a.m., and there were tons of people there. And I was the last one that got, like, general admission ticket, despite my badge at the time. But still, we had to camp out the next day just to get a priority ticket. It was nuts. So I guess it depends on who you're going to go see. You might want to get there earlier.
Yeah, so, I think they're trying to make up for it, but I think there's still only like 75 tickets again. Plus 4 premium.
I hope not.
Plus 4 premium tickets. No, I believe they said 75 again this year. I need to check.
Dude, I swear, if it's 75 again, I will lose my shit.
Where the fuck is the announcement?
Somewhere in the internet. In the voids of the internet.
Okay, it's 75 per session.
Okay. So there might be a little more
So they're being much more generous.
Absolutely. Instead of 75 for one
I still feel
session.
like people are going to be mad. They're going to miss shit. So be aware if they announce that Inuta Seiyuu is going to be at Anime Expo next year, depending on who it is, if they have a panel, of course I'm going to try to go.
Also make sure that they're doing an autograph session as well, because it depending on which company brings them, they could be doing an autograph session or they will not be doing one at all. So keep an eye on that.
So anyway, that's the story. That's what happened, and I think they're trying to make up this year with what they're doing now. I won't be there to see it, but I hope if people are able to get tickets and it's better than last year, at least that's an improvement. But
keep an eye on socials, you guys.
The difference between 2019 and 2022 is just like, my thing
astounding.
Is like, it's astounding because I'm just like, okay, 2019, it wasn't that bad. Honestly, it really wasn't that bad.
It was peak. 2019 had to be my favorite year for Anime Expo.
Last year was just, oh my god.
Last year was chaos.
It was bad last year. It was bad. My thing that I kept saying was like, okay, so like, are you guys off your game because you haven't done this in 2 years? Like, really, did 2 years really make that big of a fucking difference?
Probably.
I mean, I guess it had to do with like, well, first the whole like COVID thing, like them not at first having like mask rules and stuff. I'm like, okay. I mean, I did not get sick, thankfully, and neither did anybody that I spent time with got sick, because I had COVID like a couple. I got COVID in May of last year.
Oh my god.
I'm
so sorry, friend.
Yeah. Well, I was boosted at that point, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but still sucked. So I was super careful with traveling last year. And none of us got sick, so that's good.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, back to I love Shaq. This is very interesting. Yeah, they diversify their resume before they start talking. Exactly. I don't want to be gatekeepy, like I said before, but like, can celebrities watch more than just like one popular anime show and say they're an anime fan? Like,
I mean, I think there are some that, you know, I do believe that have been fans of anime for a long time. For example, Lizzo. She used, I think for a tour that she did, she dressed up in Sailor Moon, but this was like years ago. So yeah, it could be something generic, but who doesn't love Sailor Moon at this point? And I think if I recall correctly, one of the somebody said that Jake Balvin also watches a lot of anime. I don't know what he watches, but apparently he does. And Megan Thee Stallion is
I mean, wasn't he at Anime Expo in 2019?
No, he did not make an appearance at Anime Expo 2019, but his song Flow was featured.
Yeah, because that was at the Human Last panel. Anyways,
absolutely.
Yeah, that shit was cool.
I
don't know how I felt about the 3D animation for that shit, but you know what, Mamoru Miyano was in it, so that's all I fucking care about. Yeah, I hope the crowd control gets better with Anime Expo, but you know, I don't know. We'll cross our fingers.
Absolutely.
Anyway, speaking of experiences, that is my experience with not Uta Seiyuu, but with Seiyuu in general. In that I had no experience because the universe decided that I was not worthy of getting an autograph session and everything. So yeah, but you've had experience with Seiyuu.
Yes, I have.
So what experience? Like, have you met Seiyuu or you?
I have. I met quite a handful of Seiyuu at this point. I want to say, hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Seiyuu.
And how many of them are Uta Seiyuu?
Hold up. I had to make a list. 1, 2, 3. Three of the pre-Seiyuu that I've actually spoken with.
Okay, so, well, okay, just relate all your experiences with like with the pre-Seiyuu, regardless of whether you've spoken to them or not.
I'm gonna go down my list because I wrote it down so that way I don't forget.
Yes.
So, to start off, I'm just gonna name the instances where I've even had close encounters with, and some live shows as well. So, to start off my list, we're gonna start with Derashi and Mamo. Again, back in 2019.
Okay. I have the same experience as well.
Yeah. So that honestly, you could not ask for a better year at Anime Expo, especially because you got Mamoru Miyano there. Like, do you know how hard it is for him to just make time to come over here and do this kind of stuff? It's very hard. He doesn't even make a lot of con appearances in Japan. So for him to make his way, like make room in his schedule and decide, hey, I'm gonna go to America for a couple days with one of my best friends, and we're gonna do some panels. So with at least for this close encounter with Mamo and Terashi, the only thing really that special that I could share is because my friend and I were cosplaying Otoy and Tokyo respectively. When it was the Uta pre-panel time, both me and her kind of got up and we were just like screaming and shouting, and then Mamo turned Terashi over to look at us and just say like, look over there, and we wanted to cry. But
I loved when they did point out cosplay.
Yeah.
At that panel, that was very cute. I love that they were like very into it, and then they like
it was really heartwarming.
They're like, oh my god, there's like so and so and this one, and it just
so
I was not in cosplay, but you know I was still like, oh my god, that's so cute.
Really good times.
That was like, I remember when they announced that Mama was going, and I was like, okay, I have to go.
I remember when they announced it because that year I had also applied for an Uta Pre panel because I wanted to educate people on Uta Pre. And I was going to do my research. I was going to do everything with me and my friend, and we were just going to rock, right? And I never got approved for the panel. And like 2-3 weeks after they said they were going to like tell us if we got our panel approved or not, we saw that Maji Love Kingdom was going to be screaming, featuring Terashi and Mamo. I got out of work. Like, I was on my, like, I had just punched out. I'm on my way out the building. I check my phone. That's the first thing I see. What did I do? I fell on the floor sobbing. I was a sobbing mess in front of all my coworkers, and I said, you know what? Screw it. It's for the greater good.
Well, see, for me, I was like, you know, I wasn't planning on doing anything really, because because that May in 2019, I graduated. I graduated from college. I got my bachelor's degree after 7 years.
You did great, sweetie. We love that for you.
Yes. So I was like, you know, well, shit. This is gonna be my last summer to like, you know, do fun stuff. Because after this, I gotta get a job. Can't just sit around and do nothing after, you know, I don't have school anymore. And I was not going to go straight into getting like a
9-to-5
graduate degree after right after that. No way. Still haven't. I want to, but I haven't yet. Anyway,
take your time. It's fine.
So I was like, oh my god, this can be like a good like graduation present, because like that happened. And when did they announce it? That was like May, right? I think
it was in. Oh, I think it was in May. I cannot remember for the life of me.
Because I remember that happening and me being like, oh my god, I'm gonna get, you know, I still, because I had financial aid, and I still had money left in my bank account. You know, I hadn't used all of my grant money and financial aid.
Right.
I still had it left over, and of course, you know, I mean, I have loans, but you know, it's my money. I can use it how I want, technically.
Absolutely.
And then I'm like, oh, but I'm graduating. Like, I'm inviting family and friends and stuff. And, like, you know, I'm going to get cards and people are going to give me money. And because, you know, they do.
Absolutely.
So I got, almost like $400 in cash from my graduation.
Dang.
And I was like, okay, Lynn, I'm gonna go. And me and Chantal and I decided, like, yeah, we're gonna go. And we were able to go. And really, I told my parents, I was like, please, like,
May 20th, 2019, says Mimi. Thank you, Mimi.
Okay. So that was like right after I graduated. So I was like, because I hadn't spent my money yet. So I was like, okay, I told my parents, I was like, here's my plan. Just pay for my plane ticket to and from whatever my plane ticket costs. And then I'll use my cash money. That'll be like my spending money, my souvenir money, my merch money, whatever. And then whatever's in my bank account, like I'll just use my debit card like for necessities. Mm-hmm. So I bought my badge with that, and then any like food or Ubers or whatever, like I used my debit card or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's how I got to go.
I mean, good thing you got to go, because that was iconic for our first Utapri overseas event, and also the first time that Mama made a con experience in the US. Woo!
That was like a day to remember, man. Like
absolutely. Did you stay for all 3 panels or just the one?
No, just the first 2. And I'm mad at myself that I didn't do the Inspector panel, because I really liked Inspector.
Oh man. No, speaking of Inspector, so if you didn't know, Mama was like, they were doing a not a Q&A, but like a small quiz about Inspector after the panel was over, basically. And if you answered the question right, you got a Mamoru Miyano autograph.
Whoa.
And yeah, like legit. And one of my close friends, I wouldn't even say like super close, but at least, we talk sometimes. She was one of the people, I think the first one that got one of the autographs.
Whoa.
So like, goddamn, to this day, it's still on her wall. She takes good care of it. Like,
it's her baby. I hope so. Yeah, that's like my only Utapri Seiyuu experience is that. So other than that, what are your other ones?
Okay, down the list again. So this was another close encounter. It's with Kisho Taniyama. So ooh. I got two stories with this one. So first one, we're going to go to 2018. I'm going to go to November of 2018. I was in Japan for the first time at this time. Wow. My friends basically dragged me to go, and I'm not going to complain. I freaking, I was like, you know what? I need to go. And we went. So we were at the store. We were at Stella Worth. And not to call myself out, but I bought some CDs that day. A lot of CDs, about almost like a little over 10 CDs that I really wanted.
Holy
because I've heard them on SoundCloud before.
Yeah.
And
SoundCloud is definitely the place where I've listened to a lot of
for real.
Because I'm like, this is the only place I can listen to it like for free without downloading something.
It'd be like that. No, honestly. Anyways, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get these CDs because it's been a while, and I want to have my own collection of these things. So I go to check out these items. And as I'm checking out, the lady at the cash register is like, hey, so you bought this item from this series, and because you spent this much, you were entered into a tiny little raffle. And this raffle was basically like, she gave me this little, it almost looks like one of those bingo wheels, mm-hmm. but it's all covered up and it's made out of wood. And I guess if you roll a certain color of ball, you get a prize. So now I roll the little bingo wheel, and out comes a red ball. And she's like, congratulations, you win an autograph. Here's the list of Seiyuu that we have. Now, I saw Hatano Wataru, and I'm just like, oh, I really want him. But I said, can I have his? And she's like, unfortunately, we're out. And then I saw right next to that, Kisho Taniyama. And I'm like, can I have this one? And she's like, oh, absolutely. Now, my dumbass at the time didn't process autograph at the time, nor did I read it on the sheet when she gave it to me. But she goes back, and when she comes back to the register, she hands me a shikishi board with Kisho Taniyama's autograph. I started like, what?
I thought you were gonna say like she went to the back and then she comes back out and he's right behind her and he's like gonna personally sign.
Do you know how that would have started crying there? Which brings
I know that probably wouldn't happen, but like, you know,
a girl can dream, you know.
Yes.
And then the next close encounter to Kisho Taniyama that I had was in my trip the following year, also in November time. I took a month-long trip out to Japan, and the first half of my Japan trip, I took it with one friend, and the second half, I took it with another. In that first half, we were in Kyoto. We were visiting Kyoto, and my friend gets a notification on her phone that apparently Kisho Taniyama is also in Kyoto. And she's like, hey, he's at the university. We should try and go.
Say you spotted everyone.
For reals. And she's like, we should try and go. I'm like, well, that's kind of risky because I think we need to be students at the university to try and be there. Okay. And she's like, well, come on, let's just try. And I'm just like part of me just didn't want to risk it. And I also didn't want to crush her dream.
Campuses, are they public?
I don't think so. I don't think they're public to anyone outside of the students. Excuse me. So, and then we saw, like, the day we were leaving to our next destination, we saw that he was also on his way out of the city. And so, like two little sips that we were sitting in the station for a hot minute, hoping that somehow he would appear on the track across. Somehow. But nah, he did it. So that was really sad for us. We still hold hope. I think she commented on one of my Facebook posts earlier, saying that she wants to try and go to see them live. But I'm like, it depends on the company that they're selling the tickets with, because I am not putting myself at risk with E+. Hell no. P.S. If you know the process to E+, I'm not going to get into those details. But yeah, that's with me with Kisho Taniyama.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what's the next?
The next. Junichi Suwabe, one of my favorites.
Oh my god.
Seiyuu.
Okay, I'm all ears for this. I am all ears for this. Tell me.
Oh my gosh, Junichi Suwabe. Holy freak. This was my first AX, y'all. It was Anime Expo.
Oh, you went when he went to Anime Expo.
Yes, that was my very, very first one. And that
was like 2016?
That was my first Anime Expo. And little Noey at the time, when I saw the notification that Junichi Suwabe was going to come, I was just like, I actually fell off my chair. My grandma comes over. She's like, what's going on? And I was just like, nothing, Grandma. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. She's like, if you do that again, something's going to happen to you. I'm like, let it happen to me. I'm going to die already. And my friend and I are just like, oh my God, we're going to meet Junichi Suwabe. And at the time, or at least pre-2016, you could, like, there were a couple, like, premiere exclusive things that you can do with each guest of honor. And one of those being, especially with Junichi Suwabe, a premiere batch only panel. And this was in the same place that, the panel was held at the same place that the Twisted Wonderland panel was held last year.
Oh, okay.
And it was packed. It was packed with premiere badge holders. So goes to show Anime Expo. something of why you shouldn't take away those freaking badges. I still hold the grudge. Anyways. So what's next? Okay, so that panel was to be held the very first day of the convention. I forget what day it was. I can't remember if it was one of those years that started in June or if it started July 1st. I cannot remember for the life of me. So we get up pretty early that day because we really wanted to make a good spot in line. We wanted to enjoy some of the premier badge benefits that, you know, at the time we wanted to take advantage of. So that was early entry into the exhibit hall. We wanted to do the lounge. We wanted, you know, all these priority things.
Full experience of like what the badge entails.
Because it was also the first big con that both of us attended. We just wanted to explore. Good experience. But one thing we underestimated was the line for that Junichi Suwabe panel. We arrived there like 30 minutes before, and it was already pretty like long as fuck, man. So we're just like, oh great.
Those lines, I just thinking about it, I'm like, oh my god,
PTSD.
Because I don't mind waiting in lines, you know. Like I've waited in lines for concerts. I've waited all day in the hot sun to see Fall Out Boy and to see Panic at the Disco.
I'm so sorry for you. For that.
I wait in Disneyland lines all the time, and I have no problem. But with conventions,
there's just some kind of like
it's different.
Yeah, it's just like some kind of drag that you just don't want to be there, but you want to be there because it's like a topic that you really want to hear.
I think it's because like with a convention, like there's other stuff that's scheduled at the same time that I can
exactly
that I want to check out or whatever.
With like Soma is at the same time as the Uta pre-panel. I'm just like, really
waiting in line for like a concert. It's like, well, I'm just coming to the concert. That's all that's happening today. Like there's nothing else going on. Or if like I'm at Disneyland, okay, well, I mean, I haven't ridden this ride yet, and like Space Mountain is still going to be there later on when I want to go ride it. So like, you know, if it breaks down,
well, not anymore.
I have like well, that's Splash Mountain, not Space Mountain.
Oh sorry, I heard wrong.
No worries. I'm going for my birthday, by the way.
Okay.
So I mean, it's in September. It's gonna be like Halloween time.
Happy early birthday.
Oh, thanks. But you know, it's like that's not going anywhere. It's always open. Like, unless it breaks down, but it's like still, you know, like that's not anything I have to worry about.
Yeah.
Waiting in line. But like for something for like convention wise, that's when I like waiting in line sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, that premiere badge line was pretty freaking long. Eventually we did make it in. We were sitting like third or fifth row from the stage. I can't remember exactly.
Hey, I mean, for a long as fuck line, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good spot in the room.
But like that room is pretty big in itself, so
it's a big room.
Yeah, so it makes sense why it would take, like even though it was pretty long, for at least that whole front was full, and then there was still a whole chunk of people behind us.
Yeah.
So we get in. He comes out, we're screaming, we're crying, and then we get to like a small Q&A session, and I got fortunate enough to like ask him a question about Fenomen. And I was like, how do you feel about Fenomen? And he's like, well, I really enjoy this kind of like this what we do with Fenomen, and I hope we can make some music for it. I can't remember exactly his response, but so yeah, I love the idea that he still wanted to create more music under Fenomen than like with any other of his subunits that he was part of at the time. I don't think they're making anything now. So yeah, that's how we left it off. And then once the panel was over, I like my friend, like the naive little bitches that we were at the time, we like move like once we got out of the panel, we kind of just like moved to like the windows that were that kind of just show behind the stage, and we saw Suwabe with his assistant, or like at least to the person that was, you know, walking him throughout the the convention that weekend.
God, imagine getting to be that person. Oh my god.
And then, like, we're just kind of chit-chatting, and then we look up over to see Suabe. He's still chatting, and then he kind of just waves at us casually. I'm just like, oh my god, it's Junichi Suabe.
Girl, if that was me, oh my god, I would have fucking started. I would have died right there.
I was dying a little inside. So we're just like, okay, we gotta, excuse me, we gotta try and make it early enough tomorrow to get an autograph ticket. I don't remember if he was signing day 1, 2, and 3, but I do remember him signing day 2 and 3. So we were just like, okay, we need to get there early to get these autograph tickets. And if you remember from earlier, we were talking about how we were there at like 5 a.m. Yeah, this is for Junichi Suabe. And we were there at 5 a.m. and we were the last 2 people that got the standby tickets. That's what it was called. Standby.
Ooh. Hey, that's better than no ticket at all.
Right? But the problem with me was that I had a ticketed event to the One Punch Man panel with Makoto Furukawa. And who was it? I forgot the group that sung the opening to One Punch Man.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember their name either.
Shoot. It always slips my mind. I hate myself for that. Dark Souls, you died screen, absolutely. Anyways, so I'm thinking, okay, if everything goes right, I should be able to get an autograph from him before I go to this panel. I had already paid for my seat for this next panel. It was completely fine. No issues with it. Even if I did arrive just a little before the panel, I would still get my second to Jam Project. Thank you. So what was I? Okay, so I'm waiting there. I'm checking my phone. I'm checking the time. I'm like, shoot, I'm not going to make it. And I'm talking to this girl in front of me. And I'm like, we were just kind of making small talk. And I'm like, dude, I got to go. But I still have this ticket. And she's like, hey, so I have a friend that unfortunately missed out on a Junichi Suabe ticket. Is it okay if I give it to him? Or if you give it to him, sorry. And I said, you know what? Just so it doesn't go to waste. Yeah, here you go. And it was the same guy that was behind me that also wanted Junichi Suabe ticket and didn't get it. So One Punch Man goes really well. Makoto Furukawa was a goof and we love him for it. And then the next day once the con was over, I call my mom and say, hey, so we couldn't get the tickets for this particular autograph session. Is it okay if we camp out for the night here at the autograph line? And she's like, okay, I'll pack these things for you and I'll meet you at this location. And she gives us these things and we camp out for the night. It was kind of hard to sleep because there was this one dude behind us who just had his earbuds on. They almost kind of looked like this. And he was just blaring his music all freaking night, the same tune. And I'm just like, dude, why? We're trying to sleep. We're trying to rest.
That's pretty cringe, man.
It was very cringe. That day, we also had a couple other events planned out. And it was also Junichi Suabe's general panel. So everyone, premier badges and below could go. So morning comes up and both my friend and I, we get our priority tickets this time. And we're kind of somewhere in the middle. I don't remember if the number on our ticket mattered. I think it did. I cannot remember for the life of me.
It was 2016. That's a long time ago.
It was a really long time ago, but also my memory has been failing a lot on me. So please forgive me that some of the details are kind of I can't remember if this actually did happen or if it didn't.
It's okay.
So anyways, we get our tickets and it was for that afternoon after the Tetsuya Kakihara panel.
Ooh, you can see Tetsuya Kakihara. I love him too.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Here. Okay, I'll get to this in a little bit after Junichi Suabe. Anyways, so we get to his general panel, or at least I do. I don't know what happened to my friend. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna just shower up, clean myself up." And I'm like, "Okay, understandable, but also you're at a con." Like it sounds awful, but like you can go a day without a shower, at least one day. But like, please, if you go the entire con without showering, get a life. Please, for the love of Jesus.
Or get some deodorant.
Just no Axe.
Yeah, no. It's not. This is not middle school, y'all.
Absolutely. So I get to the panel. It goes by great. It was almost the same thing as a premiere batch panel, except with a couple more questions. And there was something that they didn't do with the general panel that they did do at the premiere panel, which I will not say because, yeah. So that panel goes by well. And then I think we just kind of hang out, and then we go to the Kakihara's panel, or I go to the Suabe signing, and I get to meet him. Now, when you meet Junichi Suabe, if you ever do, just know he's so gentle. He's so sweet.
I'm trying to imagine this, and like I'm trying to imagine like what would I even do, and I don't know
you wouldn't know what to do because he's so unexpected. So now I had a letter, and I also made like a little friendship bracelet for him, and I wrapped it with the letter. Now this letter was not by me. This was actually from one of my friends in Mexico, who is a massive Junichi Suabe fan, and I'm saying massive, like she put him on this pedestal, and that's where he's staying. And she wrote this letter, and I printed it out, and she basically asked me, like, "Can you please give this to Junichi Suabe? It would mean the world to me." And I said, "Got you." So, I roll it up in my friendship bracelet that I made for him. And when it's my turn to get my autograph, first of all, I'm shaking because it's Junichi Suabe, yo.
Oh my god!
It's Junichi Suabe. You don't know what to do.
I'm trying to like what if he's like actually physically like right there in front of me? Oh my god! I would legit probably like
wait till you hear this right now that I'm about to say. So I have the letter in my hand. I also have my bag and stuff. And one of the things that if you're gonna give whoever it is, either like a Japanese voice actor or even English voice actor, sometimes they'll take gifts, sometimes they won't. So one of the staff was like, if you're gonna give Junichi Suabe gifts, please give it to their assistant. And so I get up there and I'm about to give the letter to the assistant when he gets up from his seat, takes the letter from my hands, and sits back down and says, "Thank you." I got to feel his hand. It's soft as fuck, yo.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that happened. And then I give him my Magic Mirror CD for Pheromone, which here it is. Which is right here. And I'm gonna gently pull out the autograph. I don't want to ruin it because it is one of my most prized possessions because of how rare it is to get this particular CD autographed. So he's like, "You're the one with the Pheromone." I'm just like, "Yeah, I am." And he's like, "Okay, what's your name?" And I tell him, "Well, my name is Noemi." And I spell it out. And they gave us like a little slip to like write it out. So I wrote it out in katakana for him just to make it easier on him. So he goes to sign it. It kind of looks like, I don't know if you guys can see it. Kind of all that gold writing right there. That's his autograph.
I think the blur.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. A little bit. Oh. So, I can probably find a better, or later on I can take a better picture of this. So yeah, that is my thing.
Take a picture of it and maybe I'll tweet it out. If you tweet it out and you're okay with that.
Yes, I might put a watermark, or no, actually no, because it has my name on it. So.
I would love to see it. If you want to tweet it out so other people can see it.
Okay, so the tickets are numbered. I found my ticket. I was number 39.
Very cool.
So yeah, so I got him to sign that, and he said thank you. He gave me his iconic smile and gratitude, and I was just
Oh
I
my
felt so
god!
fulfilled. That day I felt so fulfilled that, you know, I got to meet the one and only Junichi Suabe.
Oh my
And
god! That's fucking crazy. I'm like, I love him so much, so I'm just like, I just try to imagine like what the fuck would I do?
you wouldn't
I
know.
don't know. I
That's
would probably
I'm
like
gonna give you the
actually.
honest truth, Mia. You wouldn't know what to do.
I
It's Junichi
probably wouldn't.
Suabe.
I
You
wouldn't.
like yeah, you get the experience that he's like this really kind and gentle person, and he's everything you see in these uh like in his tweets and in his events and everything like that. He's all of that. But like, sorry, also sorry if you hear something in the background. I turned on my AC because it's like burning hot in here. Anyways,
Oh no,
so
it's fine. My AC is running.
so so yeah, you wouldn't know what to do. Like you just freeze up because again, Junichi Suabe. Everyone wants to meet him. Everyone wants to know who he like, what kind of person he is, and yeah, so he really left a lasting impact in my life because oh my god, like even just thinking about it right now is just so mind-blowing that yeah, again, it's just
All the
so
comments are like, "Whoa,
yeah,
dude! Holy crap! Oh my god!" It blurred.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that was my experience with Junichi Suabe. And then going back to Tetsuya Kakihara, now I've heard a lot of conflicting things when somebody goes to meet him. So for us, he was like, especially during the autograph session, he was kind of cold. He was kind of just like really pulled back, like almost didn't want to interact with everybody. But also because like I was one of the last people to get an autograph for him, he was probably just already tired and fed up with everything. But like one of the best things that I can remember from that panel was just his blunt honesty, and then he spoke a little bit of German to one of the staff members.
Oh, sehr gut, sehr gut. Yeah, I forgot he's part German, or he was born in Germany.
He's not. He's full Japanese, but lived in was born and raised in Germany
yeah,
until he was 18,
yeah.
I think.
Oh, correct. If I met Tetsuya Kakihara, I'd be like, "Yo, bro, sprechen Sie Deutsch mit me?"
He would probably like speak to you in German as well. I probably because
mit ich, I can't. Yeah.
Then when he went to a different event, I can't remember if it was in Australia or some South Asian country. I cannot remember. Please don't come for me for this. But someone was saying like he's so sweet and he's very nice and he's great interacting with people. So I'm like, well, I probably just got the short end of the stick because I was one of the last people to get an autograph. Because my story with meeting Tetsuya Kakihara for the autograph session, at least, was that I forgot my the specific items that were given for the autograph session from Anime Jungle. And so my friend, like, I'm forever grateful for this, no matter like through all the things that we went through. I'm always going to be grateful for what she did this day, is that she went around and asked every single person in the line, do you have an extra copy of something for Tetsuya Kakihara to sign? And someone miraculously did. Now, I was so bummed out. I was about to turn off my phone because I didn't want to know anything. I missed my opportunity to meet him. I was bummed out. And then my friend, like, just as I'm about to turn off my phone, I see a message from my friend, get your ass down here. I got you something. And so I run down back to the autograph lines. And it's, if anyone who's been to Anime Expo and don't know where the autograph section is, it's in the artist alley. And it's normally behind some either black or red curtains. Just look out for that or look out for the signs, but it's going to be in the artist alley. So I'm already on the third floor of the convention center. And when she tells me that, I don't even know where I got this energy from as a thick girl, but I haul ass down to the base floor. And yeah, she gave me, somebody somehow had an extra copy of this photo of Kakihara, and I got my autograph, and I don't remember if I gave him a gift or not. I don't think I did. But I said, thank you so much. I was really happy to meet him, and I still am. I'm glad to have met him, even though he was kind of a little bit distant, but that's okay. He's still going on my books as as a Seiyuu that I had the opportunity to meet.
Well, that's awesome though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if anything can top meeting Suwabe, but like that's
Yeah, that was a trip in itself. And then yeah, we go to our nightly events for the day, and then we head off back to our hotel. I'll tell you about the thing that we did afterwards later on, because I'm about to mention our next. Oh no, wait, that is the next Seiyuu. So the next Seiyuu I want to talk about is the. So some people may. I'm going to say this word just because of circumstances, but he is quite controversial for some reasons. But to me, he's still kind of a special person, and that is Suzuki Tatsuhisa. Tatsu, in short. Ramaru Seiyuu. Now, I don't think I've seen a Seiyuu as frequently as I have with Tatsu. I'm going to flat out say this right now. I don't think I've ever met a Seiyuu more often than I have Tatsu in person.
wow.
So,
how many times?
We're going to start off with AX 2016. Now, that day 3 was filled with just events and things that we were doing. And like we didn't even give ourselves an opportunity to go shopping because we were so busy with panels and autographs. But one thing we did have that evening was the Old Codex versus Flow concert.
Oh, that's so awesome.
It was epic. I cannot exactly remember what songs were being sang that day. I do, however, remember just being there so starstruck because I got to see Tatsu in concert. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is the best day ever. And to this day, that day 3 of AX 2016 is one of the best days of my life, hands down. So that concert goes well. And when it was replayed over Daisuki.net, if you remember Daisuki, the streaming service, yeah, that's where all of this was played, including the One Punch Man panel. So it was so fun to relive all those memories through the video that they took and how they streamed it on their platform for a little bit. I do remember like months later when they were showing it on Daisuki, how I was like laying in my bed and I was waiting till like 4 a.m. to just rewatch all those memories. Good times. So what happened after that? So I think the concert just went really, really well. I know they invited a couple people up to the stage on both shows that there were for Old Codex versus Flow, because there were 2 of them. There was like a 5:00 show, which I know my friend and I couldn't make because of the signings and the panels that we were at, but we couldn't make it to, I think it was like the 8:00 show. I knew somebody, or at least the person who went up on stage for the Old Codex concert was actually somebody who turned out to be a mutual friend. And then once she dropped off social media, I could never find her again. So yeah, I at least knew one person that went up on stage to sing with Old Codex. And then for our show, there were these 2 guys that did go up on stage, but they knew nothing of Old Codex, like nothing. I'm just like, bro, that's so embarrassing.
Why'd they pick those people?
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, this is not good. But apparently they did that throughout their tour that year and the following year, if I remember correctly. I don't know. So there was that, and then once that whole day ended and we were just like really tired, I call up my mom and say, hey, we're ready to go. And day 4, just kind of chill day. We did a couple things, and then
Day 4 is always like
Yeah, day 4 is always chill.
very chill because everything's like some stuff is already closed, like they don't open it again, and then like the artist alley closes earlier, so it's just like that's like cool.
Everything starts to close at 3, so now you just have the foyer, some panels I think end at 4 I think, and then at 4:00 is the closing ceremony, and once the closing ceremony is done, the entire event is done. I don't think that year we attended the closing ceremony. I think we just got out at 4. We got picked up, and then we're taken back, and then that was the end of that Anime Expo.
I don't envy anyone having to clean up after that, or like being one of the people that's like, okay, it's over now. Let's get all this shit out of here. Like,
yeah, they start taking down things like around 2:00 because I think they only have an hour. Like, if I recall correctly, I think I can't remember what booth we were at, but I think they said they only had an hour to clean up their entire booth, no matter the size, before they have to like vacate the convention center. And I don't know. I don't think that's Anime Expo's fault. I think that has to do with the convention center itself.
There's probably like their contract policy or whatever they have to sign. So they have to be out by a certain time because maybe there's another event going on like the next day or 2 days after.
But I don't, like, especially for Anime Expo, I think there should be some kind of like rule where they can take longer because it is such a massive event. Like, they need more time, bro. Like, wow.
Day 4 of like a convention like that always sucks when you go all 4 days because then it's like, oh man, like what am I gonna do after? Because you have to figure out what you're gonna do afterward, and then
you don't know what to do afterwards.
And then it's
you just sit in post-con depression for like days on end.
I gotta go home or go back to my hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like that means the next day I gotta travel back home, and then I have to go back to work or go back to school. Or luckily, if you're still on vacation, you chill. But like.
Yeah, you chill with your thoughts and your memories from that weekend. That's all I can say.
Like last year, I was supposed to go to work, like the second half of the day, like after I came back.
Oh man.
Because like my plane was supposed to land like the day after. Like I don't know, when was the last day of Anime Expo? Like,
it's usually like
Monday.
I sometimes it's Monday, sometimes it's Tuesday.
I can't remember last year, but like I had to go to work when I got home.
Oh, and it was like, Monday last year. It was a Monday last year. I remember.
Yeah, so like Tuesday, I was supposed to fly home, and my plane was supposed to land at like 12 p.m. or something like that. My time. And they turn our plane around after an hour in the sky. That's supposed to be a 2-hour flight. They turn our plane back around because some bullshit they have to fix. And I was stuck in that fucking airport at LAX, in one of the shittiest terminals at LAX. I was stuck there for the entire day. I binge watched all of Stranger Things season 4, waiting there in the airport.
Oh my god! I am so sorry
because I did not get home. I didn't get home until like 7 p.m.
Oh my god!
I was there all fucking day, and I had to text like my in my like work group chat to be like, "I'm stuck in the airport. I don't think I'm going to be coming today." And they're like, "It's okay." So yeah, I missed out half a day's pay.
Oh my god!
I was supposed to come. Well, I said I would come back. And do like half a day's work. With this trip that I'm going on next week, that is not happening because I am not coming in for like half a day on a Friday. No, thank you.
Makes sense.
I will just get paid for the one day of the week I work, and that's fine. Whatever. So yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, it's that sucked, but also because I was tired and I wanted to go home. And, I was by myself, because Chantal had left, like, the day, like, 2 days before I did. She didn't do the last of the final day of Anime Expo, so I was kind of solo a little bit for most of the day. And the other people I was hanging out with, like, they were California locals, so, like, they just drove home. and I had to fly home the next day. So it was just like
that.
Yeah, so it like always sucks with like a trip like that, especially for a convention. Like it's one of those things where I feel like a convention, like you can do the first couple days feel like they go on for a very long time, and then when
Yes,
day
absolutely.
3, it's like, oh my god, day 3 is like almost over. I thought I just got here, and then day 4 is like 2 seconds long.
Exactly. I could not explain it better myself, if I'm honest. That is so true.
Yes,
It's
maybe
like
agree.
you're
Grace
just
period.
living in this high because you're at a con, you're making friends, you're making memories, you're doing this, you're doing that. And that's one of the things about Anime Expo is that it is that convention here in the US where you just make all these amazing memories and you go to all these amazing panels, and if anything changes from the ways that were so much better, then you
it kind of, the quality and the enjoyment kind of dips down a little bit. That's exactly like I've only been to it twice, but like from 2019 to 2022, I mean, obviously like COVID has a lot to do with it, but regardless of that, just the experience from one versus the other, pre and post COVID, is just like with Anime Expo, at least it's vastly different. And
it took AX definitely took a huge hit after COVID, and I will say that one of their best organized years for as long as I was there was AX 2016. I don't think there was any other year that topped it. Even though for me, one of the best years that I was there was 2019, but that's because of Mamo. In terms of organization and how many things that they had to do, or like events wise that they had, was definitely AX 2016. Like nothing was better than that. Sorry, I had like eye boogers.
No worries. Do you have any other stories? Any other experiences?
Next up, Aoi Shota.
Oh my god, okay. Here we go.
Okay, so this was a close encounter, but also includes a different Seiyuu that was completely unexpected, and you guys are going to want to sit on your seats and grab some tea. So, Japan 2019 is the same one that I said that I split the trip in half, right? So, for those of you who don't know, Aoi Shota played Tony in West Side Story for one of their casts.
Did you get to see him in West Side Story?
Yes, I did. I remember it so clearly. It was so beautiful.
So you got to see him, but you didn't get to see Momo in West Side Story?
Listen, I did not, and I'm still pissed to this day. I could have bought a ticket. To go see Mamo as Tony in West Side Story, but I did it because I'm stupid like that.
When they announced that they were doing West Side Story, and that they had 2 casts, and they were playing Tony, I was like, that is casting that I did not think that says very interesting. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, no, I would love to see that. I'm a theater kid, guys.
I'm a theater kid too, yo.
I'm currently writing a script right now because I'm going to direct a show in October. It's opening in October.
Congrats.
So and West Side Story is a musical that I feel like at least every like Hispanic theater kid, like that's a musical that you're like, yeah, I kind of have to like.
No, like
I have to get into it.
Doesn't matter, like Hispanic or not. You need to see West Side Story at least once in your life.
And also, like, it's like the only version of Romeo and Juliet that I actually really like, because I really don't like Romeo and Juliet all that much. As a Shakespeare work, I'm more refined. I'm just kidding. No, Twelfth Night is probably like my favorite Shakespeare play. I like the comedies a little more than the tragedies.
Yeah, I did a production of Much Ado About Nothing when I was in high school. That was fun.
Yeah, like Twelfth Night is probably my favorite Shakespeare comedy. Favorite tragedy, probably like King Lear. Not even like Hamlet. I don't know. I'm just.
I think Hamlet is too overrated. Not gonna lie.
I'm just not a Romeo and Juliet person. Like, they're like teenagers. Like, whatever.
It's crazy love.
But West Side Story fucking slaps.
It's so good. Theatrical.
Stephen Sondheim is like one of the greatest, like, you know, lyricists of all time. He wrote so many lyrics for so many amazing shows. I mean, like, I'm mad that they chose the Ballad of Sweeney Todd to do at the Tonys this year, because I'm like, there are so many other good songs that you could have done for a Tonys performance, and you just did the intro. Like, you guys,
it is what it is. It is what it is.
You guys have Josh Groban playing Sweeney Todd, and you don't have him doing like a solo at the Tonys. What is wrong with you?
It is what it is.
But anyway, yeah. When I saw that, I was like, oh my god, that's like, they're doing West Side Story. Holy shit! But I mean, there was a TikTok that went around that I had on my For You page a couple months ago of like some guy, I think it was like a rabbi or something. He was talking about how Broadway, especially specifically a show like Fiddler on the Roof, is very popular in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed like clips of a professional like production doing that show, and so I was like, oh yeah, like I was like, you know what?
I think they're really starting to just take off now more.
Yeah, like I was like, For You page, you're way behind, because I already knew about the whole.
Wait, hold on a second. Mimi, are you saying you have never seen West Side Story at all? Like, never finished it? Sit down, please, someday and watch West Side Story. It is iconic. Everyone needs to watch West Side Story no matter what, okay?
Tragedies are my bread and butter, yeah. I love Romeo and Juliet. And you know, that's cool if you do like Romeo and Juliet. I just can't get into, like, I hate the main characters.
It's an odd story. It's an odd story.
Like the original Shakespeare characters, by the way. Like, I love West Side Story. Like, don't get me wrong. What? Mimi. Oh, that's what you're responding to, Mimi.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at the comments here on the side of my page.
Mimi, so yeah, you gotta watch it.
Sit your ass down and watch West Side Story, for the love of God, please.
I would say watch a production of West Side Story
before you watch the original, so that way you know the difference.
Before you watch, like, I will say the film version from the 60s is good. The remake from a couple of years ago was okay. It was King Lear is such a good role. Bro, I love Sweeney Todd. Me too. So good. Mimi, no, you have to. No.
Why not? Okay, so anyways.
But yeah, I was like, For You page, I've already known that they do Broadway versions of stuff in Japan all the time. Yeah. Like they did I don't know if it was a professional production, but I know for a fact that somebody did In the Heights over there, and they translated like everything into Japanese.
Interesting. Like, I never heard of that one actually.
Yeah,
that would be really interesting to watch in Japan.
Yeah. Well, and like that one when I was talking about that TikTok, they showed clip, like you hear the what it sounds like in Japanese for Fiddler on the Roof, and it sounds really cool.
Oh, that's so cool!
It sounds very cool. If I can find that TikTok, it should be in my likes still or in my favorites. I will send it to you because it's very interesting.
Yeah,
it's very
absolutely.
very interesting. It's very interesting. You get to see what it's like. It's like, yeah, like that would be a production that, like, I would love to watch that because I already know the whole story.
And if there's a stage actor that I know that will be part of it, hell yeah,
I don't have to understand what's going on because I could watch West Side Story in Japanese. I could watch Fiddler on the Roof. They did Sweeney Todd. I would watch that in Japanese because I already know the show.
Exactly.
So it's like I just want to watch the performance. Like that would be great.
Right? Yeah.
So what was the West Side Story? The one thing I thought that was really interesting was the way they staged it, which was like a theater in the round kind of thing, right?
You know what? Okay, so the cool thing about that theater in particular is that yes, it does rotate, but you as an audience member don't feel the rotation. And one of the illusions that they did especially at the start of it was when they were driving in motorcycles. Like, yes, they were driving like these moped type things. They had the sound effects of motorcycles, even though I don't think they were motorcycles, but it looked like they were driving around the city when in fact the stage was actually moving to the movement of the motorcycle.
So the stage is moving, not them necessarily.
Both actually were moving.
Oh, both are moving. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can see the wheels turning as well, and like the effects of the wheels.
My like director brain of like I'm like, oh my god, this is like, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I love that's one thing I love about like watching live theater, specifically like with certain productions. Like I pay attention to like how they block it, or like how they do like when I saw Lion King in the West End, the Broadway version, I was like, oh my god, I'm sitting in like a really good spot to watch how the stage works and stuff, and it was really cool. Yeah. So that my theater brain is like
so that was really, really interesting. And that's what they also did for like a lot of the scene changes, is that they would turn the I don't know if it was the stage itself or the audience members, I can't remember for the life of me, but they would turn to change the set, so that way they didn't have to like construct it like a or like have the backstage crew,
they'd have to take it down and put something else up.
So it would just turn to whatever setting that needed to be set.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so that was one of the cool things about the theater. But with Shota, you would not expect him to play a character like Tony.
I know that,
but like he did so good. I'm not joking. He was just chef's kiss. It was so good. And for all you Shota simps out there, I'm gonna share some info with you right now. That body, God damn!
So
he's built.
So spoiler alert for Romeo and Juliet at the end, guys, or spoiler alert for West Side Story, I guess. Because Maria doesn't die at the end of West Side Story.
Oh my god!
But was he good at dying? Because that's why I would have wanted to watch. Dude, I would have wanted to watch Mama do it, because I wanted to see.
I'm like, oh!
I wanted to see how good like he's at dying.
Good. Oh my god. He did so good as Tony. He did so freaking good. Wow. It was a masterpiece in itself. He did so good. Yeah, I really wish I would have seen the Mamo version just to know like how he does it.
Well, I remember like there were little clips on Twitter when they I rewatched those clips like 8 million times.
Yeah, but like
I was like, this is the only way I can watch certain things.
Yeah, I'm really sad that there was never like a DVD or a Blu-ray to, that came out with it. Because I would have loved to rewatch.
I would have loved to see that too. I would have loved to, because I don't know if they do this in Japan, but I know for a fact that like every Broadway production of like anything is recorded.
Yeah.
For like archival purposes. That's why it was really easy for them to put like Hamilton on Disney Plus, because they recorded it.
Yeah.
With the
also because Hamilton is like stupidly popular. And like, everybody knows it. And if it's not on a streaming device, like what's wrong with Disney?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually gonna go see it, the traveling show.
Oh, that's fun.
It's coming in July. I'm pretty excited. But yeah, so I wish there was more than just like little shitty ass clips on Twitter. I mean, they're high quality, like it's a good camera and everything.
Yeah,
it's like they don't really show too much, and sad. Then it's that's cool. Well, and then when Mama was they did Waitress.
Oh, I forgot! I forgot how he was in Waitress
a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if they showed clips for that.
I don't
but,
think so, but I do remember him being casted in Waitress.
But I remember being like, oh my god, I forgot they made a musical out of that movie.
Yeah.
And then being like, I would watch that in Japanese.
Same though. I want to watch their Token of the stage so bad. Yeah. The Lion King on Broadway. I've seen it twice. Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
it's good. And I saw the West End version of The Lion King, and I saw Aladdin.
Ooh.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
Darn right. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
What he
yeah,
he dies really good.
Okay, so for those, so there's like a quote unquote bet scene in West Side Story. So
yeah, it's
the way that they did this in
how did they do it in this production?
So he was in his boxers basically. So you got to see almost everything.
Wow, bro.
That's why I said he got a body, yo. He got a body. There for the simps, you have it here first. So
there's a scene in the show where they're like in bed together, and like clearly it's implied things have happened.
Yeah,
it's like afterward.
Yeah.
So yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, brother, you can't keep doing this to me. I'm sorry, Toll, but like, you're here to learn about these Seiyuu experiences, and I'm going to share with you my Seiyuu experiences, and I'm going to tell you right now again that Aoi Shota has a body, a really nice body.
That's awesome. That's so cool. You get to see the West Side Story. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, it was definitely like, when I heard that they were doing West Side Story in Japan, and I was going to be there during the production shows, I was like, I have to get myself a ticket. I have to. Because as a theater kid myself as well, West Side Story means a lot.
Yeah, it's one of those musicals that's like, even if you don't get to be in a production, but you see a production of it, like a live production, like not just like watch the movies and stuff, like it's an experience. Like if the actors are that good, regardless of what language it's in and stuff, like that's one of those shows where you're like, oh my god, like I am legit like crying, like I really think that like he's like dead on stage.
For real. So like, oh my god, the way that they did it. So like, spoiler alert, so when Tony gets shot, like the way that Shota did it, he like stopped, looked at Maria, and then fell over. It was,
oh my god.
I had like mascara running down my face. I looked like straight out of a telenovela, bro. It was nuts. It was nuts, but in a good way.
That's crazy, man. That's like, that's so cool.
Yeah. And then we're gonna go back to Tatsuhisa for 2 shows that I went to for ladderless, and that's why I said that he's the Seiyuu that I have seen most often in person. All right. This story means a lot to me and solidified my heart as an eternal Old Codex fan for life, despite all the things that happened in the last 2 years. So we're going to start with July of 2019. So this is when I think it was July or September of 2019. I can't remember. But I basically had solidified that, okay, I'm going to Japan for a month. I'm going to do some things. I needed to stress. My job was basically killing me mentally and emotionally and physically. I broke my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we don't talk about it. So one of my friends at the time, who I don't speak to anymore, has shared on her Twitter page that one of her mutual friends is selling tickets for Old Codex Ladderless. Now, originally, I was planning to go with a friend, and I was going to pay for my ticket, but in the end, she sold it to somebody else. And so I'm like, I thought we were friends. So I got in contact with this person, and I said, hey, I'd be interested to go to the Koga show, because I thought, okay, if I organize my dates well, maybe I could still go to Hokkaido, because that's been on my bucket list for many years. I want to go to Hokkaido. And she's like, okay, I think it was Saturday the 16th of November, the show. And I was like, okay, I got my ticket. And so I was like, oh, I'm really excited to go to the show. Or I think it was Kyoto that was good, that I had originally planned to go. And then because they couldn't sell the other ticket for Kobe, I ended up getting that one as well. Now, so obviously time goes by and I'm like hyping myself up. I'm like, yes, I get to see El Codex 2 times this year. Like, that's great, And this is like way before like COVID was even a thing. So I was like, man, I got to do this more often and yada, yada, yada. So
you're already like planning out like the future.
Yeah, basically. So I get to the event or I had paid for a hotel that was basically right next to the venue of Kobe, and then for Kyoto I had a capsule hotel situation because there was just nothing nearby the venue that was like Airbnb wise or even hotel wise. It was all really out of budget, and so I ended up staying at like a capsule hotel that was pretty nearby. It was like a 5-minute train ride, which is not bad. Anyways, so Alt Codex Day 1. That day, I actually remember waking up, like, debating, like, do I get merch? Do I not? And eventually I did end up getting some merch. I got, like, a towel, a muffler towel, a couple T-shirts, the sweater, and...
Wow.
Yeah, I got a couple things because I'm like, well, I just don't want to be carrying, like,
it's one of those kinds of things. It's like you're in a different country, and like you know, this is like a once in a lifetime kind of thing. It feels like at the time, so it's like you might as well, like,
right? Yeah, exactly. So, I get up like at 6 a.m. to line up, and I'm the 7th person in line. I remember this. I was the 7th person in line waiting, and there was already like 6 girls there. They were all sitting on their stools. I was kind of like standing, but I was also really, really cold because I didn't know how cold it was going to be in Kobe during that time. So I'm over there with my my yoga pants and my sweater, and I'm just like, I'm shivering cold. I tried to play some Shining Light so it would like warm up my hands, but they're freezing on the notes. So I'm like, God damn it. And then I was talking to like the friends that were the tickets, and we're just kind of like really confused on like how the merch sales are gonna go because the sign said one thing and then Twitter said another, and then basically we all came to the conclusion that that merch sales were not going to start till 2 p.m. that day. And I was out there from 7 a.m. So go figure. Dedication. So once it's already time, I go in there, I buy my merch, and then I wait for the friend that I was going to join in for the concert. Are you okay, Mia?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
Okay.
I yawned.
Just making sure you're all right. So,
sorry, it's I've been up since like 7 a.m. today.
Oh my god! So... oh my goodness! I'm sorry. We're already dragging the show on, and
no, you're fine. You're fine. No, you're good. You're good.
At least one more Seiyuu after this.
You're fine. No, keep going. I'm just like my glasses are bugging me out of yawn. Anyway, go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So back to the story. Where was I? Okay, so I bought merch and I'm waiting for my friend. So we meet up, and come to find out that this friend, she is from South America but is living in Germany. So that was pretty epic. We got to like mingle a little bit, talk. And then my friend who was there for my second half of the trip, she also decided to join us because then she was going to go to Nagoya and see, I think it was Generations in concert as well. And she had bought her ticket like a few days prior. So I was like, hey, you want to join me at least to go to Kobe and, we could do some stuff over there? And she's like, yeah, let's go. So we're just kind of waiting there after we had bought our merch. And then all of a freaking sudden, you guys, like as we were just chilling there chatting, I see York. And I also see Tatsu. Just right there on the crowd, grinning at everyone, saying hi. And then my friend who has attended previous, like the one that I joining with at the concert, she says that Tatsu never makes a public appearance. Before that, he never did. And so I'm like, huh, interesting. And so I'm freaking out. Like, it's York and Tatsu. And I tell my other friend who joined me on the show, I'm like, turn around. And yeah, lo and behold, York and Tatsu just right there casually walking, saying hi to everybody. So we're just like, all of us just kind of like group together and just go, hi. We're just like geeking out, like, oh my gosh, it's old Codex in front of our very eyes. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe we got to see them like this close even before the show.
Everyone's like, oh my God, hello, wow.
Yeah. And so I'm like, and that stuck to me because at the time I'm like, oh my gosh, this is probably one of the greatest things that could ever happen to me. I got to see them up closer than I did back in AX 2016. And so we were kind of chatting, and then like once we all got our merch, and once my other friends said, hey, I'm just gonna start making my way over to Nagoya, I was like, okay, just I tried to say, okay, be safe, but she also didn't let me know like when she got on the train and whatnot. But oh well. After that, we go back up to my hotel room, and I get changed. I change into a different pants. I put on the ladderless hoodie. I change my shoes to something a little more comfortable. And I kind of leave almost everything in the hotel room just so I can go over there and have fun, because I'm like, it's just right next door. I don't need anything, right? That's what I thought. And so my friend also joined me because she's like, hey, I really need to use the restroom. And I'm like, hey, all right, you can come upstairs with me. I'm staying right next door. And so we both go up, do our thing. And then we head back downstairs. Now we're like, our ticket placement was somewhere in the 500s. So we did have to wait a little bit because they were going in increments of 100. And we were almost towards the end. Mm-hmm. So... but despite the number, all I'm gonna say is that at least for when old codex this shows, you could be like myself and my friend who were in the 500 spot and then somehow get pushed to the front, because that's what happened in both shows. We got pushed almost to the front.
Is it like because I know a lot of people say that like concerts there and concerts here are like very different. Is it like, I don't know how many concerts you've been to, like in the U.S., but like,
I've been to a fair share of them here in the U.S. The difference is just the way the ticketing, like the way entry works. Like I said, in our case for Old Codex, it was by numbers. So at least they would go in increments of 100. It didn't matter your number placement. Versus here in the U.S., you just buy your ticket. It's either VIP, gold, or general or whatnot. And you wouldn't go in order, so you would just present your ticket and you'd go to your specific zone. That's not the case for Old Codex. It's like when you get your number placement, you can choose wherever you want to stand on at the venue. So
interesting. Yeah. I guess I just never thought about it because it's like, I feel, because like, like when you go to a concert, just depending on like the artist or like who it is or what it is, like if there's seats, you're in a seat and you can stand and watch or sit and watch. Mm-hmm. Or if it's like, a particular venue or band or whatever, like there's going to be like where everyone's like packed together. Like, God, I would say like the first time I saw Fall Out Boy and then the first two times that I saw Panic at the Disco, it was just like, I'm like sandwiched in between other people. Like, we're not sitting, we're standing. That's almost what happened with
Old Codex, and we'll get to that in the second show, and I'll explain what happened there. But going back to the first show, so one of the things that I didn't know is that the venues will charge a small fee. So at least with the Kobe venue, they charge 600 yen. Now, like I said earlier, I had nothing on me, because I was like, I'm just going to leave this at the hotel. It's right next door. So I told the usher, I'm like, 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Now, with my fat ass, I ran back to my hotel, took the elevator up to my hotel room, grabbed my change, yeeted back down, all in 5 minutes. And show started, and it went off without a hitch. They sang all my favorite songs. I was dancing, I was singing. I don't care if I butchered the lyrics. And then one of the unique things that they do at these shows, or they did, I should say, is that both York and Tatsu would throw things out to the crowd. And so if you guys remember when I said that York and Tatsu were out there greeting fans, one of the fans that they got to greet was this mother with her little girl. It was so wholesome because York went up to them, started making small talk, and he carried this little girl just to kind of like, just a little bonding moment. It was so cute. And it was just like, oh my God, he's a family man. York, at least. So yeah, that was really, really sweet. And then when they were like throwing things out to the audience, York got off stage and went up to the mom with her daughter, and he took one of the bracelets that he was wearing and he put it on that little girl. It was so
that's cute.
Oh, that was really sweet. Tall, shut up.
Shade.
Just a bit. Shut up. So yeah, and I left that show just like so fulfilled, and I was really happy. I was on like this like really, really happy high. I tried to meet up with my friend after the show, but we kind of just got lost.
Separated.
Yeah, we just got separated after the show, so we were just like, all right, we'll just see each other tomorrow at the Kyoto show. So, the next day, I get up around 7 a.m. because I'm like, okay, I gotta leave early so I can go to Kyoto, and make my way to the capsule hotel where I'm gonna stay at, and drop off my stuff and bring what I need for the show.
This time, did you bring your change with you?
I did bring my change with me. I actually had a backpack with me this time because, again, that capsule hotel was like a 10-minute train ride from the venue. So I had to bring my stuff because I didn't want to leave it. So I get to the venue and there's already a line for merch. I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be the same thing as yesterday. I'm just going to get in line to see if I get lucky and see York. That was my idea. Like, because I wanted to get a good spot in line so I could meet them and say hi, and they could know that they also have foreign fans. And so I get in line. And one of the things that a friend told me over Twitter is that each venue had like like a specific it was like a hair tie and bracelet set, and it was only designated to the venues. And I'm just like, God damn, I should have bought the Kobe one, but I ended up buying the Kyoto one, which I still have, but I didn't bring it with me when I moved out here, so it's still back home. Anyways, so
Well, what happened?
Oh, I have no idea what just happened.
Okay. I got scared. I was like, oh my God. Is this finally crapping out on me? Like, what happened?
Oh, man. I better not. Anyways, so... Okay. So I didn't get to see Old Codex at first. But I did meet up with my friend again, and we're just like, oh my God. So I told her, like, I try to get back in line, at least buy a couple things, so that way I could, hopefully see York again. And then we were also going to meet one of the person I told you originally that I was supposed to go to Old Codex with, but she ended up selling her ticket to another person. And she eventually made it. And then just as she made it, we start hearing shrieks from, so this venue in particular, the Kyoto show, the venue, you have to go down a set of stairs before you actually reach the venue. And the merch sales were right outside the actual event area. So as we were chatting, we hear shrieks coming from downstairs, and we look down, and there's York. And who's next to York? Tatsu. And York is being such a sweetheart, y'all. He starts helping the staff hand out the merch that they're selling, just being an all around just really, really friendly, really, really nice, just helping the help. That was really, really nice to see. And my friend that arrived kind of late, and I were just like, hey, let's go downstairs. Let's try to go downstairs for a moment. And that's exactly what we did. We just started making our way downstairs, and we get like right to the bottom of the stairs. So we just kind of wait there because I think they told one of the staff told us to just wait and don't get any closer. I think they were already cutting off the sales at the time, or I can't remember why. So I look over and I'm just like, oh my god, it's York. Ugh! And so my friend and I are getting over. It's like, oh my god, it's York, it's York, it's York. And then, y'all, all of a sudden, this man starts making his way over to the stairs where my friend and I are standing. I'm already starting to freak out at this point. I'm just like, oh my god, he's probably just gonna walk by us, but at least he walked by us. Holy shit. But no, this man, I guess, just saw through us and knew that we were both gaijin. And he just looks at us and just first he asked us in Japanese, where are you from? But like my brain went to mush because I'm like, oh my god, it's York. And like, nah, that distance, y'all, just right there, so close. And he's really tall. Holy shit. He is, and then he repeats in English, like, where are you from? And I blanked out and just like, Nevada. I did not know what to say. And then he says, thank you for coming. And then he does the same thing with my friend behind me. Now, I blanked. I did not know what to do. Like, what just happened to us?
That's crazy.
And so we kind of like follow him back up the stairs. And he starts making small talk with the other fans. And then all of a sudden, Tatsu makes his way around up. Now, I didn't really get to speak with Tatsu as much as like every other fan does, but all I can say right now is that to whoever has met me in person, just know this right here, right now, and I'm going to be completely 100% honest. Tatsu and I are the same height. I am 168 centimeters. So yeah, he has small, but we love him. So yeah, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, I just got to see Tatsu and York up close and had a small interaction with York at least. And then once that whole thing is over, and then they go back into the venue and just say goodbye to everyone and say, see you inside. My friends and I were just like, oh my god, we can't believe this happened. We can't believe this happened. Holy shit. We're just like losing our minds, and we're talking about it like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then eventually comes a time where everyone starts, lining up and getting ready to go into the venue. And both my friend and I, though, the one who I bought the ticket from, we're also in the 500 numbers again, I think. 500 or 400, I can't remember. So we my other friend who got to greet York with me, she was in the first 100. I think her slot number was 63, if I remember correctly. So she goes in with the friends she sold the ticket to, and they're already inside. And then, we go in, and we're just kind of there. Once we get into the venue, hello. Oh, okay. So for some reason, your service stopped me.
What?
Yeah. Anyways, now that
we're still live though, right, everybody?
Yeah, we're still live. I haven't seen it stop at all. So, anyways, we're
what
back.
The fuck is happening, man?
I have no idea. I think the internet's just being weird.
It's not the weather. I know that for sure.
Oh, same, yo.
It's 91 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
Hell no.
That's the desert for you.
Oh man. Okay.
It's partly cloudy.
Oh, I mean, for at least right over here in Southern California, we started finally to get some kind of sunshine because we've been in like this super like cloudy environment for a few weeks now.
It was overcast when I left work, so which was at like 5:45. So
oh man. Okay. Well, let me get back to the story before this internet cuts out.
Yes.
So, anyways, we get inside and we meet one of our friends who got like their tickets secondhand. I forgot how they got their ticket, but they were accompanying the person that my other friend sold the ticket to. So we were kind of in the same spot. And then once those lights go dark, everybody is pushing forward. And I'm not a light woman by any means. I'm thickeroni. But those little Japanese fans who reached to me here were shoving me to the front of the stage. And I mean hard. I'm just like, oh Jesus. That was rough. That was a rough one. Holy shit.
Was it like it just so happened like it's the flow of like the crowd pushing you, or they were like intentionally like
I think it was just the flow of the crowd.
Okay.
I don't know how else to explain it because it almost felt like a mosh pit situation.
Because I feel like if you've never been in like a mosh pit kind of thing at a concert, you kind of don't know. Like sometimes it like I remember at one show, my brother and I, we were together, and then like eventually like I somehow made my way up way closer, and he was still in the like way back there. And we separated somehow.
Yeah.
And it just happens.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it was here, and everyone was just shoving right toward the front. I'm like, okay, that's happening. And one of the good things that came out of it is that I did get closer to the stage, but not super close as like my other friends did. But according to them, after the show, like once we got all together after the show, they almost got crushed. Yeah, so that was fun. Anyways.
Even in Japan, they have
right?
They have crushes at their shows.
Yeah. So the concert goes by well, and as they're throwing things to the crowd, Tatsu takes off one of the shirts of merch that he has. He bundles it up, and then he yeets it across the venue to like the back. And I'm like, damn, I'm not catching that. That's way too high. Nah, brother. But if anyone has read my original Twitter thread from back when I posted this story, I didn't mention this particular spot because I guess my brain just totally forgot about it because of how sad I was at the time. But I'm still going to mention it here because it is significant to like what happened earlier in the day. So as they're throwing things out, York grabs one of his bracelets and he makes eye contact with me because he was like, I guess he somehow said, I'm going to throw this to you. You better catch it. And I'm just like, at first I pointed to myself and then he threw it. And just as I was going to catch it, somebody else did.
Oh.
Another foreign fan. I'm just like, no! I missed my chance. But oh well. It happens. It happens. But and then I looked over at him and I can't remember if he shrugged or something, but like he definitely he was just kind of like, yeah, I think he continued to throw one more thing at the crowd, but I cannot remember that. So I think because that day was also Makoto's birthday from Free, they sang a lot of Free songs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm over there just jamming, having the time of my life. And it was great. So like after the show, we met up with a Japanese fan who she's like, hey, I noticed that you guys are foreigners, and you know, she was really friendly to us, and we actually were able to get along. We had a friend, and she's like, hey, if you guys want, I can take you to like a nearby restaurant that is really, really good. And we're all like, all of us gaijin, except for the two that caught the bracelet that came in my direction. We all kind of just banded together and went to this restaurant. And after the rest, and like our Japanese friend said, "Hey, so I can't remember what the situation was with her boyfriend, but I guess he called her over to like because they had like a different plan or something, which is like, hey, so it's gonna be this restaurant. If you guys still want to go, and we're all kind of concluded, yeah, let's just still go." And we kind of just parted ways there, and yeah, we had some dinner. We all went back to hotel rooms, and then I went back to my capsule hotel, probably sobbing in tears because that was one of the craziest experiences that I ever had in my life that day. And that, to this day, remains the best day of my life. You cannot get better than that, especially like as a foreign fan for World Codex. Now that they're disbanded,
I was just gonna say you as a foreign fan specifically have like a very unique experience and moment that like no one else, specifically especially foreign fans, can ever experience again because they disbanded. So like that's something I feel like is gonna be that's a story I think that
it's gonna live with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's really cool. And I love that it's a very unique experience that not everybody gets to actually experience, but just hearing it just sounds like you had so much fun, and I'm just so glad that's an experience that you came away with.
Yeah, and with the disbandment, I'm just thankful that I was able to see them live one last time before everything went to shit. And like Maya is saying right now, I want them to come back someday. Yeah, I wish for them to come back someday. But you don't really hear situations where Japanese groups get back together after
I was going to say, so it's, I mean, you can always, I mean, that if that's how you're going to cope with how everything ended up, you do you, because you never know. Maybe
some miracle.
Maybe someday it will. I mean, I think you are right. I feel like more Western groups get back together after a few years of being boys, after they break up, or or if they go on a hiatus for a while, they'll come back.
Yeah. Like with Japanese groups, once they're broken up, they're broken up. There's no coming back. So I'm at least grateful to life that was able to experience this before everything went down, that I have these memories with me forever, and no matter what, I'll still be a fan even if I haven't heard their songs since the disbandment, because every time I try to play something, I'll just start crying because I really do miss them a lot. Sorry, I'm like about to cry because I freaking love it.
No, it's okay. It's an emotional reaction. Like, it's totally understandable. It's something that you've uniquely experienced. Yeah. And like I would be surprised if you didn't get emotional about it, because like that's it means something it's something very meaningful to you. And if you get emotional about it, like don't apologize, because that's
I'm trying not to, but like it's there.
It's something, it's a good memory, and even good memories and fun memories, we cry about it because it's like, wow, I wish I was back there.
Yeah. I wish I could be taken back to that day, but it is what it is. So yeah, that was my Tatsuhisa experience, the long version as well. Do we have time for one more, or is it already too late?
Yeah, you got time for one more.
All right, so we're gonna talk about the last.
Is this like the actual, like the last one?
Yeah, the actual last one that I have for
With the pre?
the ones that I actually did meet in person. This last Seiyuu that I'm about to talk about, I'm going to talk about it in a perspective of me now, but I'm going to refer to myself as Little Noey,
Okay.
because of what happened at the time. So back in 2017, I told my friend that came with me to Anime Expo that this particular Seiyuu was going to come because I had this gut feeling and said, "Hey, let's do some Code Realize cosplays. I want to be Lupin," and she's like, "Okay, I want to be Cardia," and we're like, "All right." If you haven't gotten the hint about it, all right. So we're already looking at cosplays, and I find this jacket. It's like a really, really nice red jacket, and I was like, "This is going to be perfect for this Lupin cosplay that I want to do." And I never eventually did end up getting this jacket because it was like $800, bro. I am not about to spend $800 on a jacket, nah. And now there was Little Noy. So time goes by, and we all just kind of forget that whole thing happened. Then come forth June 8th of 2018. Now that day was already hard. Thanks, Mimi. That day was already hard on me because it was my brother's graduation, and uh, I just didn't want to see anybody of those teachers because they made my high school life really, really difficult, and none of them were very helpful. They were in a kind of mindset where like seniors should be preparing for college because it's going to be super difficult and nobody's going to help you, and that's kind of how it was. And it was just awful.
I've never understood that mindset.
Yeah,
From
all of my teachers back then were like that.
In my experience, it's not all teachers. It's some teachers.
Exactly.
It's certain teachers that tell you like, oh, when you go to college, like no one's gonna help you and like love. Like no, that's a lie. That's not true. Like I mean, yeah, you have to help yourself a little bit more maybe because you're like on your own possibly, or like your parents aren't gonna be there on your first day. Depending on where you're going or whatever. But like I feel you. Like that's
yeah. So I didn't want to see any of them, but I pushed it through because I wanted to support my little brother. He was about to graduate high school. I wanted to go to his graduation. I wanted to make some noise because if I couldn't finish high school properly, maybe he can do something about. Oh shoot, I'm getting dizzy already. I'm sorry. I at least wanted to go over there and show my support and say that I'm doing better now. I at least got 1 year of college under my belt, even though I was not accepted back into the second year because I have really no idea why I was not welcomed back for the second year to finish at least my associates in performing arts. So that day, as I'm getting ready for my brother's graduation, I see a notification, or little Noah sees a notification on her phone that just lit her up so much, and she started screaming, crying, and just fell on the floor harder than she did for anybody else in her life up to that point. Not Seiyuu, my friends, was Tomoaki Maeno. And little Noe was so excited because she was going to get to meet her favorite Seiyuu of all time. She's been following him for almost 4 years to that point. And she just really wanted to meet him. And with that, a boost of energy, she finished getting ready. And we went to my brother's graduation. everything went off without a hitch. We screamed. I was probably the loudest person in the room when my brother went up on stage, because I had that little Noey had that energy to be happy because something good was about to happen in her life. And so yeah, come AX 2018, I think it was July 5th. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. So Little Noe makes this makeshift commune cosplay and orders like pays somebody to make the wig because we couldn't make it at the time. We didn't know anything about her styling. So we decided, okay, I know this wig maker because they have made wigs in the past and have hosted panels at Anime Expo before. So let me see if I can ask for their help. So we messaged them and said, hey, I want this kind of wig for this event. Is it possible to be delivered at AX for this day? The person was like, yeah, sure, it's going to be X amount of money. I said, no problem. I paid it forward, and yeah, so both of us were preparing for this cosplay for this particular day because we're so excited. We've been a fan of him for forever, and we're just ready. Like we have premiere badges, and we cannot be more grateful for that. Both my friend and myself. So I think it was day 2 that day. So day 1, I don't think we really did much. And then day 2 of Anime Expo, that was the day of the panel for Cells at Work. The panel was supposed to start. I can't remember if it was 10 a.m. or 10:30, but it didn't end up starting till like about 12:30, almost 1 o'clock because of technical difficulties that were going on inside the event room. So if you guys have been to Anime Expo, there's like a room on the 3rd floor. It has like this bit that has like a massive screening room, and it's kind of like almost in the middle of the entire convention center. I can't remember the room number for the life of me, but anyways, that's where the panel was going to be hosted. We were going to watch the first episode of Cells at Work. There was going to be an interview with the voice actor, the director, and the producer. Friendly reminder aside off track, please stay hydrated. Anyways,
no, I'm out of water.
Yeah, I'm running out of my water anyways. So Little Noey gets her wig. She's already in cosplay. The only thing we forgot were the contacts, but you know, typical Noah fashion, even with Little Noah or Big Noah now, we always forget something at the freaking cons. And this time I forgot my freaking contacts back home. And it was one of those, and this was one of the years that I actually flew down here for Anime Expo because I still lived up in Northern Nevada. So, yeah, there was no way I could have gotten my contacts on time. So I was just like, oh well, it's whatever. So, I think that day I woke up like at 6 a.m. to get ready and to be at the convention center by like 8.
Yeah, that's what you have to do sometimes. It's like,
yeah,
especially if you're wearing cosplay, it's like, well, I gotta get up at the ass crack of dawn earlier, to make sure I get all my stuff ready and then get there at a reasonable time. And by reasonable, I mean like very early.
To anybody in the future, if you're planning to go to AX and this is your first time, please note that you do have to be there super duper early, especially now because they don't have any premiere badges anymore. You might want to get there early to get a good spot in line. Pro tip.
Just to get inside, by the way,
that's just to get inside. That's not even that's not including the panels. That's a whole other story. So, anyways, Little Noe was the second person in line this day. The second person.
Oh my god!
Because that's how dedicated she was. She was going to be there right dead center because She just really wanted to be there at this moment. That was iconic for her at the time. Uh, and real quick, if you guys are wondering why I'm referring to myself as Little Noah, is because at least myself at the time, I was really delusional and immature and didn't know any better. So uh, I went through a lot of growth during the pandemic. Uh, so yeah, so that's why I keep referring myself to as Little Noah, especially with how the story turns out. Uh, so
So
yeah,
you're the second in line. So then what happens?
yeah. So the second in line, and then my friend, she did not get up on time. At all. I had set an alarm. It's like, hey, we gotta go, so that way we can make to this panel. She's like, oh, it's because I'm waiting for something. I'm waiting because she had ordered some CDs that were supposed to arrive that day to our Airbnb, and I'm just like, dude, just tell the homeowner to pick it up for you. Come on, we gotta go. There's probably gonna be something that you could get autographed. And no, I wanna. She was like, no, I want to get my CDs. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I make it there early. At least I'm in second in line. And uh, because Premier badge holders have priority, whenever there's a new Premier badge holder in line, especially to a room that's so limited, uh, there are general attendees that get kicked out. And I was told by so many people that they were kicked out of this line in particular because as much as they wanted to meet him, they had to give priority to the Premier badge users. And
Yeah.
I felt so bad because when my friend arrived, that meant another general badge holder had to get kicked out. And I'm just like, this is why you arrive on time, stupid.
Yeah, then that person, well, maybe that person wouldn't have even gotten in line. They would have,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have gotten kicked out.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah. Anyways, so you know, like I mentioned a little bit ago, the panel was supposed to start at 10, but it didn't start till like 12:30 because of technical difficulties. It wasn't until that time that we finally started to go in to the panel room, and uh, and we got seated. So my friend and I decided, let's just sit here in the front row center. Well, not really the front row. The front row itself was prohibited to everyone. But we sat in the second row, but still like right there in the dead center because that's where we wanted to be that day. So we
would
just
probably that's a good viewing area.
It is. It's a really good viewing area, and it doesn't matter like what you're in there for. But preferably if you really like. If you're just there for a screening and it's not for like Seiyuu or director related purposes, sitting in the back in the middle, that's an even better spot. Not gonna lie. That's just my 2 cents. But this day we wanted to sit front row center, basically. So we were just kind of chatting and they're just doing some mic tests. We're geeking out, we're so excited. And then comes the start of the panel. Now, with the start of the panel, little Noah is just losing her mind. She's just excited. She's almost crying, sobbing on the floor. Like, just, oh my God, he's right there. Like, just a few feet away. He's just right there. Like, holy cow, this is happening. And, you know, they do their intro. They're like, hey, we're here to watch those at work. I can't really remember exactly what happened that day, but he greets us, he gets us hyped up, we watch the episode, and then we get to the interview. The interview goes great. And then one of the things that they gave us upon entering that panel room was a little like ticket. And that ticket was going to be for a raffle for some pre-signed stuff that was available at the end of the panel. So come the end of the panel, there were some people that did win. I think I still have that ticket somewhere, if I'm honest. Somewhere. somewhere I got it, but excuse me, or one, I threw it away because dumbass, or two, it's actually somewhere and I just gotta find it, or it's probably back home somewhere. So anyways, I think my ticket number was 2 digits away from being one of the winners. I cannot remember for the life of me, but I do remember somebody that had met at the con. One of their friends did get one of the autograph tickets, and right after the whole panel and everything, it was time for the autograph session. Now, for the autograph session, you had two opportunities to get these tickets. You either were at the at like this quick little talk thing that they had at the Aniplex booth the day before, and they gave you the tickets, or you could get one right at the door upon entering the panel. So there were some people that did get them at the panel. I think I still have mine somewhere, the full ticket instead of the one that was ripped off for the signings. But I got mine at the Aniplex talk because I just really wanted mine to be confirmed. And I remember actually, once we had gotten out of the Aniplex talk, we had gotten out of there because we were just, I think we were going to go somewhere else, and I think I met somebody who came in all the way from Mexico to come and meet this man. And I'm just like, that's dedication. But also, now that I think about it, do you remember with the Magilla Kingdom panel that somebody from like the Middle East flew over to come and meet Mama?
They said they're from like Saudi Arabia or somewhere like that. Yeah.
That was dedication to its finest. Holy cow.
I remember that. That was lit. I was like, wow. How much money did you spend?
Right? So, anyways, back to the story. I met this person who I think was from Mexico or some South or Central South or Central American country. Forgive me. So yeah. Anyways, back to day 2. We now are making our way from the panel room down to the autograph line. So just like I did in 2016, I make my way from that 3rd floor of the convention center down to the base floor for the autograph session. And it was to start in like 20 or 30 minutes after the panel was over. So we're all kind of rushing. And if you guys have seen that viral photo of Anime Expo where everyone's just kind of packed in, trying to get through the convention center, I remember being in that crowd coming out of that panel just to get to the autograph lines. And I had to hurry extra because one of my friends forgot her gloves on her seat. And so I grabbed them and I was like, shoot, I gotta run to give these to her. And yeah, we make our way down to the basement floor for the autograph session. And I meet up with my friend and I said, hey, you forgot these at the panel room. And she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I make my way back into the line. And when we got to the line, I think my friend who was dressed as Lupin, the one who I said woke up really late because she was waiting for her CDs, she eventually went back to the Airbnb, got the CDs, and then somehow miraculously made it back on time for the autograph session. I'm just like, how did you do that?
Magic.
Oh, for reals.
Commune magic.
For reals. Anyways, so as we were kind of waiting in line, we meet a friend who was decked out in this like Camus and Cecil merchant jacket. She had like Itabas, she had the Prince cat. I didn't have one at the time, but she was just decked out from head to toe in the blue and green colors for Camus and Cecil. And we're just like, I'm just like, oh my God, you're the coolest person I've ever met. She takes a photo of me with like holding a little aqua plushie, which I actually have my own, but I forgot to bring it over here and I don't want to remove my earbuds. So I'm over there holding it, and then right when I give her back the the aqua plushie, we see him walking right
Oh.
on the way to the booth, and we're all just kind of waving at him. And I had my phone in my hands, and I don't know why my dumbass didn't take a photo when I could. Little Noe just was so starstruck that she forgot to take a sneaky photo. uh so yeah, like when people were going up for the autographs, I want to say you had anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute to just kind of converse with him. Uh just if you wanted to tell him something, you could. I remember I had a friend who spoke to him in an Osaka dialect, and he responded back with an Osaka dialect. And she said, "Oh my god, that was so like that was an amazing moment for me." I'm just like, "Oh, I'm happy for you." Um, I remember seeing another Kami cosplay, but I can't remember because my friend said this person did get an autograph, but my friend said no, they didn't because they had run out of tickets. Um, what else happened after that? Sorry, I'm trying to remember. So then, when it was my turn, of course, little Noah was just dying. She was so excited that this was finally the moment she's been waiting for years for, and she was shaking. She had forgotten all three languages. And I actually still have the autograph. I'm going to show it and see if my camera doesn't.
Okay, let's see if it blurs it again. Oh my god.
Okay, let me see if I can do something now. It got dark. 1 second.
Yeah, if
Now
you
that
can
it got
unblur,
dark.
yeah, we can't see anything.
Now that it's unblurred.
Here, maybe
So
show
this is
the other one too.
Yeah, so
Afterward.
this is the autograph.
Oh my
that I got.
gosh, that's so cool.
For a long time, actually, I had it in a folder because I was like, I need to get this. I need to get this the best frame that I can, even if I have to spend extra money on it, because to me this was a trophy. To little Noah, this was everything in her life. And so we got out of there, and little Noah is just a sobbing mess. Could not control me. Could not be controlled at all. So we leave the autographs area and we start making our way to go get some food, and then make our way over to the premiere lounge to just kind of rest up, take it easy. Eventually, I take off parts of my cosplay because I was wearing like a waist shaper thing, and then but because I'm fat, that was just starting to hurt. So once that was over, once we were rested, I took it off, and I also took off. I also took off the wig, and I kind of, because I was wearing a button up and then a black tank top on the bottom, I just kind of undid my button up because everything was just hurting at that point.
I feel you. As a bigger person, like a plus size person myself, like just sometimes after a while wearing like Spanx or like shapewear,
yeah, it's gonna
like,
start to hurt.
It hurts, and then like if it's not like, because I like my Spanx, but like sometimes I'm like, I need to take this off because it's not that I can't breathe. It's just like when it holds you in,
Yeah,
it does
like your
start
fat,
to hurt.
it's just like I need to burst.
Yeah, it's like my tummy needs to be.
Yeah.
So yeah,
happened.
I know how you feel.
Yeah, that's basically what happened this day. And then my friend, she went to the Sword Art Online panel with Yoshitsugu Matsuoka. So I missed out because my energy was spent. It was gone out the window. I had no energy left because I used it all to just make little Noah happy. So that's all she ever wanted, just to be happy. And so I'm resting at the Premier Lounge. I'm probably taking like a 20-minute nap while I'm waiting for my friend. And then when said friend arrives, we leave. And that was also the day that when we stepped outside the convention center, we thought it was going to be a nice chilly night. But no, it was 98 degrees that night.
Oh my God.
It was 98 degrees in Southern California. We were dying. We were dying. So yeah, time goes by. I never actually eventually got the frame until this year. But long story short, little Noah just kind of died in 2020. Stopped being the little happy thing that she was. And it's a good thing because at least she can now rest knowing that he's also happy. And that is my story. And that is where we're going to leave this off. With the Seiyuu experiences.
Round of applause. Can you show the other autograph since you unblurred the thing?
The other.
I can see it.
Where did I leave it?
Especially because you said it was like in gold.
It was, yes. It was like in a gold marker. I can't remember where I put it. Hold up. Let's turn on the light. Did I leave it on the floor? Did I leave it on the bed? Give me a moment, y'all. Okay. Oh, that's not it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So that autograph. Let me pull this gently out again. I know now that I'm reading the comments, I know Mimi also met the last AU I spoke with, but I don't know her story. So she can also share her input. But this is my Junichi Suabe autograph. You can kind of see it. There we go.
Oh my God.
So yeah, you can see there Noemi, or sorry, this way. And then Junichi Suabe.
That's so cool.
And my goal now, hopefully in the future, if things go right, is to meet Kosuke Toriumi, who's the other half of Feromen, and get him to sign this as well, to make not to only just complete it, but also because Toriumi Kosuke is the top, and I'm not joking when I say this, he's the top of my bucket list. I want to meet him as soon as I possibly can. When he was, I think, in Australia, I can't remember, it was 2018 or 2019. I was looking up flights to go to Australia to meet him because that's how top of my bucket list he is. Someday, right?
Someday. Yes, I was just gonna say, well, hopefully one day, someday, it will happen.
Hope soon. Please, Anime Jungle, bring back Seiyuu like you did before.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. Like I told you in DMs, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
Lots of very cool experiences. Yeah. Specifically with the pre-Seiyuu, that's crazy. Like,
yeah, it was a lot. Like, I'm still with Shota no Morikubo. The thing that really messed me up is that he was supposed to be at a con in Canada in 2020, and I was also looking up my ways to get out there to go at least see him for a day and then get my ass back to the US. But of course, pandemic happened and everything was canceled. Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah, it really, really fucked up everything for everybody. Just the nature of the beast, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
it is, but there's your opportunities are becoming available again, so you can't lose out hope. That that can't happen, because it definitely can. You definitely have lots of chances, I feel like.
Yeah,
because you've had experience, you've experienced that stuff before, so who's to say you can't experience it again? I mean,
Absolutely.
I feel like you would have an easier chance to get it because you know, you kind of know what to do. You know how to like navigate your way
Yeah,
to getting
absolutely.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I could not even imagine. I have no idea how I could or would ever do anything like that. Like,
Yeah. Hello?
hello.
Sorry, I think you frozen some of the.
Oh my god, I'm just okay. Sorry guys. It like fucked up. I saw at the top of my screen it was like you're on your Wi-Fi connection. Like what is wrong with this thing? Anyway, what I was saying is you've navigated these kinds of experiences before, so I feel like you are in a really good position to experience more of them. Because you know what to do.
Yeah.
You know how you kind of know your way to how to get there. I don't know how I would ever navigate doing something like that.
I mean, one of the first things you gotta have, like, aside from being a nervous wreck, because like Japanese Seiyuu, especially with Utapri cast members, uh, you don't really get to see them that often.
Yeah,
Like I still have yet to see or hear have like some near experience with Hiroshi Mono, Kenichi Suzumura, Kosuke Toriumi, and Shotaro Morikubo, and the entire Heavens cast. Which actually, now thinking about the Heavens cast, Daiki Yamashita, who is the voice of Shion, he did make an appearance at AX, but
yeah.
um, I I don't we didn't do anything about it. It's just he was there present. And then Yuki Kaji also made his way to Anime Expo one time. And if you guys don't know, Yuki Kaji is the voice of Sho's twin brother Karu. So
Yeah.
so he is part of the Yuta precast.
Yeah, I feel I'm like that was my thing of like why is he not in the anime, guys? It's Yuki Kaji. Like what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Well, why did you not put this like
Neither
what?
is May or is it Mai or May?
Masato's
I forget who it was. Masato's sister, and that just it bugs me. Like these are two crucial characters to each of their stories, and they're not included in the anime. So it's just like, do I need to throw my shoe at you, please? Just mention them at least. Holy cow!
I mean, in the Christmas special, they mentioned Sho's brother. I don't remember if they mentioned Masato's sister though.
I don't think so.
Chat, can you clarify? Because it's been a long ass time since I watched the fucking Christmas special.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But did they mention the sister? Because I don't remember if they mentioned Masato's sister.
They never did, as far as my memory is concerned.
But I mean that's so cool. Like I'm just always in awe when I have people on here that are like, yeah, like that have like you've been to Japan, like that's crazy. Like
yeah. Honestly, pre 2020, I made a lot of really financial really bad financial decisions. Like going to Japan for a month, that took up like my entire wallet and more, just to try and like relieve myself of where I was mentally. I would say experience wise worth it. Would I do that same thing again? Absolutely not. I would definitely find a way to like use PTO, or even if it's just a couple days of unpaid time off, just to experience this again. But like to quit my job to leave for a month, absolutely not. I would not do that again.
Yeah, well, when I went to the UK for 2 weeks, I did that because that was for school.
Oh,
like I was able to do that because of college. Like they had a study abroad program, and I could get credits for classes if I I went.
That's pretty cool.
And it was for my major, so it's not like I went just because.
Right.
Like I went because my major was creative writing, so like I would have class.
Yeah. And what better place to go than like the UK?
Yeah.
home with the
Well,
theater.
yeah. I mean, I got to
Well,
see.
not home the theater because that's more like Greek and Roman. Yeah,
Well,
history.
yeah.
But
Well, I mean, but I was also, like I'm a theater kid, so like, get to go to the West End. We got to watch a lot of plays, for class. The Disney shows, I bought my own tickets for those because I wanted to see them. That was not part of class.
I
But
mean, it was still an experience though.
yeah, it was. It was really cool, and I went by myself, and it was
Ooh,
really fun.
that's too fun.
I went. Well, we went to the Globe, like the Globe Theater. We saw 2 plays there.
Ooh, lucky.
So that's cool. We saw Romeo and Juliet, and actually, I enjoyed it because they, with the costuming and everything, they made it look more
You're
modern.
kind of buffering again.
Yeah, like
Mia.
oh shit, for real?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Also, just as a side note, I'm looking at the comments right now, and I thought you met him, Mimi. I really thought you did. For some reason, I thought you mentioned that you were also got into the panel and did go to the signing, or am I thinking of somebody else? I don't know.
Am I still buffering, or am I good now?
Mimi says you're good, but
okay.
You're kind of buffering on my end. But
I know for a while my camera wasn't focusing, but yeah. What else did I do? Oh, yeah. Saw Romeo and Juliet, and we saw Twelfth Night, and it was really good because they made it take place on like a 70s cruise.
Okay. That's
it was
actually
very interesting. It was very interesting.
That reminds me, when I did Much Ado About Nothing, we had to take place in the 60s, and then the directors of the show, along with like one of the actors who's part of the band, they got together and also asked some of the band members from the school to come up with a tune that sounded kind of jazzy 60s vibe to just give more meaning to the show. Of course, it's high school theater. It's not going to be super perfect, but that was fun.
Yeah, we did. Well, I wasn't part of this production, but all of my theater experience has been like community theater, specifically like children's community theater. It's not always. It's not every. Not you don't have to be a kid. There's adults and teens and stuff, but that's been my experience. That's how I've gotten a lot of my experience with writing and directing and stuff, because I was able to, move up the ladder or whatever. But we did do a production of Romeo and Juliet. I was not in it. My brother did tech for it, I think, and I just watched the show. But it would start off where like their costumes were like, period piece, like Romeo and Juliet, like, regular. No, sorry. Their costumes started off modern. And then as the show goes on, like they add
like more
to their
timely
costumes.
Pieces?
Yes, to make it more like time period appropriate to Romeo and Juliet.
That's actually pretty cool.
It was very cool, very interesting. But
did they also change the language to match with like the time period that they were representing, or not?
No.
Oh.
It was just with the costumes.
Oh, okay.
And then like what they did with the set. So like at the beginning they were like drawing like graffiti and like chalk on like the set and everything.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, we saw that. I've been to Shakespeare's house, the house he was born in.
Oh, when I was in school, I went to a school here in LA, and the library to that school is said to be Charlie Chaplin's old house. It is said. I can't really confirm, but it does look like a home, and it does look dated. So whether or not that's true
that's cool. Though
I wouldn't be able to tell. And then across the street from that school is the Jim Henson company. So where they film all the Muppet things.
That's cool too.
Yeah.
Oh well, and then also in the town of Stratford upon Avon, where he was born. He's buried there too, and his wife is buried next to him. So I've seen his grave too. They're buried in the church. Like you go in the church, and then like at the front, like their graves are like down there.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Inside the
So
building.
kind of creepy but cool at the same time.
It's creepy, but it's pretty cool. Like it's a really cool area like that. Like people live there. Like you go on the little river there, and there's like houses, and people live there. You can see they have their own little docks on there, and you can kind of peep in people's houses and see like what the house looks like.
Oh my god.
It's very cool. It's very, very cool. It's a very nice little town, village. I don't know what you would call it. I would go back.
Maybe in a later future, because
yeah, I mean, when I went, it was 2017, and they were doing a shit ton of construction, all over the place. So I'm like, wow, it's just like here, where there's construction everywhere, and it sucks, like getting places because there's stuff in the way. I wasn't driving. I mostly took like the tube or like the bus.
I forgot that the train system over there in the UK is called the tube.
But it's very efficient. You like once you go on something like that, I'm sure it's the same in Japan. Once you go on
absolutely.
On something as efficient as that, you come home and you realize how
just
shitty.
Not the same.
You realize how shitty public transport is in the US.
Yeah, like even in New York City, because I try to go there at least once a year because I have a lot of friends that live out in New York City. Over there, yes, it's convenient because it reduces the amount of like carbon footprint that's left in the city, but at the same time, it's kind of nasty. It's really crowded. Sometimes you don't even know if you're gonna end up in a car with a homeless person that is just kind of sleeping out there in the corner, or if something is gonna happen. It's just kind of it's really messy. Versus like out in Japan, everything obviously it's very clean, it's very organized, it's very like on time, and on like if you go at the right time, you might either could get a car to yourself, or there's just like a person here and there. But it just again, like I said, it just depends on the time of day.
Yeah, it's like I came home and I'm like, wow, I have to wait 40 minutes for like the normal bus. Back like when I was in the UK, it's like, wow, the most I had to wait was like 5 minutes for a bus. And once you kind of use public transport like that, it's never the same when you come home. But I mean, like now I just drive everywhere home because I have a vehicle to drive. But like taking public transport, when I go to Chicago, I'm gonna have to take the L train. So I'm like, okay, like I'm probably have to take it back to the airport because my friend that I'm staying with, the day that I come home, like she has to go back to work.
Oh man!
So like they can't even drop me off like at the airport or anything.
I mean,
like,
that's kind of what's gonna happen with my friend group that is coming with TAX. I can only drop off one person who's leaving day 4, like right after the con is over. I think his flight leaves like sometime around 10 p.m. And so once day 4 is over, I have to go drop him off at the airport. And then after I drop him off at the airport, we're making our way, like the remaining of us, we're going to make it back here to my place. And then as I'm going to go to work the next day, everyone else is gone.
Yeah, it's just how things are now, I guess. Mimi says, probably confused me with someone. I just graduated high school back then and was unable to go. It's one of my biggest upsets.
Oh. Kristen and I don't know with interacting with anyone for Utapria. Jason is giving letters to my friends to drop on when she goes to see them. POTF? Probably, yeah. I'm very sorry, Mimi. I really thought you were one of the people that actually got to meet him. Or I think I might be also thinking of the time you actually did go for Maji Love Kingdom. And that's probably what I had in mind. And also how like one friend that we were talking to on Discord who was saying that she was unfortunately one of the people that was kicked out because of the room capacity. Oh, prior to the frontier. Okay. Thank you, Mimi. Who was unfortunately kicked out and was really, really upset that she was kicked out of that panel. So, yeah. It's a sad thing.
Well, let me read some real quick that Mimi did write up about stuff that's happened in terms of news between last week and this week regarding Dupree. Let's see. What? Oh my god. Why is this
and before I forget, the whole reason that I was actually dragged to go to Japan with my friends, and I voluntarily was okay with being dragged, is because one of our friends actually got tickets to go see Quartet Nightlife Future in person.
Wow.
And then that same day that she had the tickets to go see in person, my friend, the one who woke up late on day 2 or day 3 of AX 2018, got me a ticket to the live viewing. I'm still grateful. I'm still grateful. Forever grateful. That's another story for another day.
Okay. So here we go. It's not as much as last time. Okay, so June 14th, which was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Modulove Kingdom's 4th anniversary. So happy anniversary, Modulove Kingdom.
We love it. We love
changed my life forever.
Absolutely.
Okay, on the same day, 14th, Broccoli announced that HappyNet has acquired around 4.2 million shares, costing them around $44 million through its tender offer, surpassing the 3.3 million minimum shares needed for it to be successful. This has increased HappyNet's voting ratio from 29.7% to 77.9%, making HappyNet a parent company of Broccoli. They'll also now be making efforts to acquire all of the remaining Broccoli shares, causing people to anticipate Broccoli's delisting from the stock market as a result.
Damn.
How this will all specifically work out is still in discussion between the two companies. On the 16th, so today, or rather yesterday in Japan, we got the main visual for the Starish Live Star Treasures Sunshine, including merch details, pre-orders. They're open now through July 2nd.
It's going to be during AX time, so if you're going to AX and you're also planning to get some merch, make sure to get some cash on delivery, because
yes,
you're going to be able to
there is,
right now.
Speaking of AX 2023, there are 3 Uta pre-meetups that have been announced. So the first one is going to take place on the 3rd, July 3rd, which is also day 3 of the convention, at 9:15 a.m., so that is Pacific time, LA time. And after the screening...
You're buffering again.
What the heck? I look fine on my end, but it's my end.
All right.
You can still hear me, though, right?
No, for a second I couldn't hear you.
Oh, what the heck? Okay, am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now. Anyways, you were saying?
Let me repeat that. So, on July 3rd, which is the 3rd day of the convention, at 9:15 a.m. local time in LA, there's a meetup for Utapri. It's right after the screening in room 403 AB.
It's before the screening, because the screening is at 10 a.m.
Okay, it's before. I don't know. Why did you write after me? That was a typo, I guess. Okay. The second one is going to take place on the same day, so July 3rd, the 3rd day of Anime Expo, from 2 to 3 p.m.
Hosting that one?
It's at meetup site number 1, so you are hosting that one?
Yep, I am hosting that one, and just exclusively for this stream, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of what the jars look like.
Oh yes, go ahead and show those.
I have here the sample of the Starish one. So you can see right there, it says Starish, and on the front, camera, come on, focus. Okay, so on the front, it's gonna say Anime Expo 2023 Uta no Prinsama Love and Dream Gathering. So that's gonna be the Starish jar, and then the Quartet Night jar is the same thing, but on the back it's gonna have the Quartet Night logo. It's kind of hard to see because of the lighting, but the difference will be not only the stars on the inside, but also the top is gonna be bejeweled. So these will only be given out during my meetup, which is gonna be the 2 to 3 o'clock one. So if you guys are interested in a Quartet Night or Starish jar, meet me at Site 1 between 2 and 3 p.m. to get your goodies.
Okie dokie. And the last meetup, so the 3rd and final meetup, is going to take place on 4th of July, which is the 4th day of the convention. That's going to be from 12 to 1 p.m. at meetup site number 7. So you guys have maps of the area, which if you already have a badge, I think you already have a map.
We do, I think. Hold on, let me pull it out. I think we have a map on the. Oh no, we don't.
But if you go to the convention and you don't have a map, they give out maps. Like
yes, they do. Absolutely.
So you'll be able to figure that out. I can post this on Twitter. All of this. I mean, I'm not going, so I really don't need to post it. But
I mean, it's good to at least share the information.
I'll probably still share it just for people who are maybe following me and are going, and maybe they don't know that there is a meetup or anything. So I'll make sure to tweet that. Just if I forget, I'm sorry, because I'm not going to be here.
No problem.
But other than that, that's all the Utapri news. Is there anything else you want to plug or mention before we end here?
Do I have another mention? Yeah, just going back to the happy nut news. I just hope that this is going to be the saving grace that Utapri has needed for a couple years now, because it's been on a heavy decline, and I think that HappyNet should be or will be the saving grace that is needed, because we're all lacking so hard.
Okay, so for the first meetup, it's before and after the screening. Okay.
Oh yes, and the Utapri anniversary next Friday, next Friday over here on the west side of the world.
Well, maybe I'll post something, but I'm gonna probably be asleep when I come home next Friday.
Honestly, felt that I had to work during the time of the anniversary, so I'm gonna miss out on everything. I'm probably gonna mute my socials because I don't want to see anything until I get home, and I usually don't get home till 2 p.m. So go figure.
Well, with all that said, then I do appreciate you coming on to the podcast, and I know it's been a long time coming because you were busy moving and everything, so I'm just glad we were able to work everything out.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that I had to have it so close to. I know you said you wanted at least a week's break, and I felt really bad. I wanted to actually say, can we push it maybe further? But I'm like, oh no, it's too late.
No, you're fine. Happen because I do want to mention, guys, we are going on hiatus for 2 weeks. Okay, so the next episode is not going to be until the 7th of July, which is after Anime Expo. So if anything does happen Utapri-wise, of course, stuff's going to happen.
Oh, and I think July 7th is also the Heavens anniversary.
So, we'll have plenty to talk about. And actually, maybe if you want to talk about Anime Expo this year, you're more than welcome to come back and talk about it.
Absolutely. I'll see what happens this year, and then I'll shoot you a DM and just be like, girl, I gotta talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, and if you want to just talk about the meetups and stuff.
Yeah, I think I might be only able to attend the one that's happening before and after the screening, and then of course mine, because I do have a panel lined up for the 4th, and I might have to miss out on that one. Details coming very soon. So yeah, I might just be only able to mention what happened to at those panels, and
that's totally fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. I want to be able to experience Anime Expo this year because I'm not going. So anything Utapri related that happens, I want to know about it, and
you will definitely know all about it. Oh, Mimi says she's going to all of them. So
okay, well then maybe you both can come on the next episode
to share. Absolutely.
Yes, share your love and your news and everything, and that would be fun. We could definitely talk about that and the experience that y'all have. With that.
Yeah.
But
I just want to know if Natsuki Hanae will recognize my friend who was the one that saw it for Shimazaki no Naga.
Well, I guess you'll find out we
will find out. Yeah.
But I do thank you guys for joining in the chat as always. You guys are awesome. And thank you for always, if you are in the chat and you've come to every single stream, I really appreciate it. I thank you so much.
A cookie and more.
I thank you so much for doing that. And again, guys, I'm sorry that I have to do a 2-week hiatus, but I don't want to burn myself out, and also we need a little break once in a while. It's summertime. Everyone's got other stuff going on, and I want to be able to not only enjoy my summer and the vacation vibes. I mean, I still work. I don't really get a summer vacation. Once you get a job, guys, you don't really get a vacation until
once you become an adult, your entire childhood just goes to shame.
It goes away. You have to plan all of your time off a million months in advance.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I appreciate everybody coming around and enjoying. Yes, we need breaks. I do need a break. I'm tired.
You need a nap, 4 espressos, and maybe just 4 months of vacation.
I wish I could. But again, I appreciate everybody coming out. And of course, if anything happens between now and then, and I feel the need to tweet about it, I will tweet about it. So don't worry. Anything with the pre-related. I want to get into more reactions on here. So maybe we can figure something out, or we do a commentary or something where we all watch something together, like Modular Kingdom or Stars Tours, and you put the stream
I still need to watch Stars Tours.
People put the stream on in one window and then you watch it in the other. We all watch together and we just comment over it. I don't know. We'll see how to work that out.
Absolutely.
I don't know, but that's something I have to plan in the future. But if you guys are interested in that, please leave it in the comments. If you're watching this VOD after it's been finished, you can always leave comments. I appreciate comments and such. Shinobi,
are you talking about?
Yes, I have to do a stage play episode. Another one where I talk about the show or we react to it or whatever. I need time to sit down and watch it. Yeah, any excuse to watch Modular Kingdom and Stars Tours.
Absolutely.
I need to watch Stars Tours again anyway because I've seen Modular Kingdom 8 million times. I need to watch.
Who hasn't seen it, dude? Just really quick, I remember going with Mimi down in Vegas to go see Modular Kingdom while I was streaming out down there. Because my town is so forgotten and small that anything anime related is just, we have to drive 3 hours to Sacramento just to see it.
The things we do for our boys, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, we will reconvene on the 7th, July 7th. And we'll see how everything goes, how everything has been. Maybe by then I'll have a better understanding of how I can react to things and do stuff like that. So he says, "Oh yeah, that was fun."
Yeah, it was very fun. We were both screaming.
But yeah. Thank you guys again for joining, and Noey, thank you for being here. And
thank you for having me.
Experiences, you're very welcome. It was a lot of fun hearing about your experiences, especially about Suwabam. Oh my god,
yeah,
I'm gonna think about that for the rest of my night. But yeah, everyone else, have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode, stream, live.
And if I come back, it's probably because I'm about to talk some things about Anime Expo. That's about it.
Most definitely. So bye everybody.
All right, bye. Thank you for having me again.